The wheelchair rolls forward. Kang Seon-woo doesn't look up. He never does. When you've built half of Seoul's skyline, when your signature is etched into bridges and subway stations and the towers that pierce the clouds, you don't need to check if the ground beneath you is safe. You own it. His security detail flanks him. 3 men in black suits, earpieces glinting. Secretary Han walks 2 steps behind, tablet already open to the morning's agenda. Across the street, the scaffolding for the Hanam District Cultural Center rises like a skeleton against the gray October sky. Kang Infrastructure's latest project, the one that will prove, once again, that his company builds more than structures. It builds futures. Amara Lewis stands 50 meters away, field notebook pressed against her chest. She's been in Seoul for 6 days, long enough to know that Urban Accessibility 2.0 is marketing gloss over deep systemic rot. Long enough to see workers without harnesses, ramps with slopes too steep to meet international standards, signage that assumes everyone can see, hear, move without barriers. She hears it before anyone else does. A low groan, metal against metal, the sound of something giving way. Her eyes snap upward. The scaffold structure, the temporary support beam for the facade installation, is separating from its mooring. 3 bolts pop in sequence, a chain reaction. The beam tilts. 12 tons of steel and concrete, angled directly over the street. Directly over the CEO in the black and silver wheelchair. 3 seconds. That's all she has. Amara doesn't think. She doesn't calculate risk or consequence or the fact that she's a consultant with no authority, no protection, no reason to care this much. She just runs. Her boots hit wet asphalt. Someone yells something in Korean, a warning she doesn't understand. She screams, but Seon-woo's security is looking at their phones, at the building entrance, anywhere but up. She barrels forward, arms outstretched, and slams both palms into the side of his wheelchair. The chair careens sideways. Seon-woo's hands fly up, instinctive, useless. His eyes meet hers for a fraction of a heartbeat. Confusion, shock, the beginning of anger. Then the beam falls. The sound is apocalyptic. Metal shrieking, concrete exploding, glass shattering into 1,000 diamonds of light. The shockwave throws Amara backward. She feels the impact before the pain. Something massive and immovable pinning her left leg to the ground. When the dust settles, the world is muffled. Sirens in the distance, growing closer. Someone shouting. The acrid smell of pulverized concrete. Amara tries to move. She can't. Blood pools beneath her thigh, dark and spreading. The beam has crushed her leg from mid-thigh to ankle. Her vision blurs. She turns her head, just enough to see Seon-woo, on his back 3 meters away, chair toppled beside him. Security guards swarm him. Photographers appear from nowhere, cameras flashing. He stares at her. His mouth opens, but no sound comes. It isn't gratitude on his face. It's pure, unadulterated horror. Because in that instant, Kang Seon-woo understands. Another person's life has been destroyed to save his. Again, and this time, there are witnesses. This time, the world is watching. Amara's eyes close. The last thing she hears is someone screaming for an ambulance, and a stranger's voice, breathless. Did anyone get that on video? The question isn't whether she'll survive. It's whether either of them can survive what comes next. If you value stories where courage, corruption, and impossible choices collide, subscribe now, because this isn't just about one accident. It's about the 1,000 invisible decisions that determine who gets hurt and who gets saved. And we're only just beginning. Amara opens her eyes to white ceiling tiles and the steady beep of a heart monitor. Pain comes second, searing, absolute, radiating from her left leg in waves that make her gasp. She tries to sit up. Her body doesn't obey. Don't move. The voice is calm, accented, female. Dr. Park Mi-sun appears in her peripheral vision, adjusting an IV drip. You've been in surgery for 7 hours. Your femur was fractured in 3 places. Severe soft tissue damage. You're lucky to still have the leg. Amara's throat is sandpaper. Where? Asen Medical Center, Seoul. Dr. Park checks the monitors, her expression professionally neutral. You've been unconscious for 16 hours. The CEO you saved is fine. Bruised ribs, minor abrasions. He's already been discharged. The words land like stones. He's fine. You're not. Amara closes her eyes. Doesn't regret it. She's never regretted the instinct to protect, even when it costs her. It's why she became an architect. Why she measures every ramp twice. Why she carries her mother's photo in her field notebook. A reminder that one wrong angle, one missed calculation, can turn a life into a tragedy. There's someone here to see you, Dr. Park says quietly. He's been waiting since you came out of recovery. If you're not ready, send him in. She expects a lawyer. Maybe a corporate representative with a bouquet and a non-disclosure agreement. Kang Seon-woo wheels himself through the door. He's immaculate, charcoal suit perfectly pressed, hair slicked back, not a strand out of place. But his eyes, dark, unreadable, are fixed on the medical equipment surrounding her bed. The monitors, the IV, the bandages wrapping her leg from hip to ankle. He doesn't look at her face. He looks at what he cost her. Miss Lewis. His English is flawless, barely accented. I owe you my life. Amara studies him. There's no emotion in his voice. No warmth. Just a statement of fact, delivered like a quarterly earnings report. You don't owe me anything, she says. That's not how this works. Seon-woo's hands rest on the arms of his chair, knuckles white. In Korean culture, a life debt is, I don't care about debt. She shifts, bites back a grunt of pain. I care about why that beam fell in the first place. Silence. Heavy, suffocating. Seon-woo's jaw tightens. There will be a full investigation. If there was negligence. If. Amara's laugh is bitter. I've been on your site for 6 days. I've seen workers without harnesses at 40 meters. I've seen ramps that violate every accessibility standard in existence. I've seen materials that don't match the specifications in your public contracts. So when I ask why that beam fell, I'm not asking if there was negligence. I'm asking how many people knew and did nothing. The heart monitor beeps faster. Dr. Park glances at it, concerned, but doesn't interrupt. Seon-woo finally meets her eyes. For a moment, just a moment, she sees something crack beneath the corporate veneer. Guilt. Fear. The weight of something he can't say aloud. Every hospital bill will be covered, he says quietly. Every treatment, every therapy session, I don't want your money. Then what do you want? Amara leans back against the pillows, exhausted. I want you to fix the things that almost killed us both. He stares at her. Then without another word, he turns his chair and leaves. Dr. Park waits until the door closes. That man, she says softly, carries more ghosts than you realize. What do you mean? But Dr. Park just shakes her head. Rest. You're going to need your strength. Because when Amara checks her phone 3 hours later, she's trending on Korean Twitter. American Hero Architect, 10 million views. And a lawyer's email in her inbox with an attachment. A settlement offer for $2 million in exchange for a signed NDA. The flowers arrive in waves, roses, lilies, orchids, arrangements so elaborate they crowd the room until Amara can't see the walls. Attached cards bear names she doesn't recognize. Executives, investors, politicians. All thanking her for saving one of Korea's most visionary leaders. She throws them all away. What she doesn't throw away is the plain envelope delivered by courier at midnight. Inside, a single handwritten note on expensive cardstock. You were right to ask. I should have asked years ago. KSW. Amara reads it 3 times. Then she hides it in her field notebook, beneath the photo of her mother. Physical therapy starts the next morning. Dr. Park wheels her to the rehabilitation wing, where the equipment gleams under fluorescent lights. Parallel bars, resistance machines, treatment tables. And in the far corner, another wheelchair user working through range of motion exercises. Kang Seon-woo, He glances up as she enters. Something flickers across his face. Surprise, discomfort, resignation. Dr. Park notices. "I thought you might benefit from joint sessions," she says. "You're at similar stages of recovery, despite different circumstances. It helps to have someone who understands." Amara wants to refuse. But the truth is, she's terrified. Terrified that the pain in her leg isn't temporary. That the weakness she feels isn't just from surgery. That she'll become exactly what she's spent her career fighting for. Someone the world overlooks because architecture was never designed with her in mind. "Fine," she says. Seon-woo nods once. "Fine." The first session is silent. They work on opposite sides of the room, guided by different therapists. Amara grits her teeth through resistance training, feeling every muscle scream. Across the room, Seon-woo executes each movement with mechanical precision, face expressionless. It's only when they're both resting, her on a mat, him in his chair, that he speaks. "How long have you been an architect?" She doesn't look at him. 10 years. Specialized in accessibility for 8. Why? Because my mother spent the last 5 years of her life in a wheelchair after a fall at a shopping mall. The ramp had a 15-degree slope. The legal maximum is 4.8 degrees. She sued. They settled quietly. She died before she could see any real change. Amara's voice is flat. I decided I'd make the change for her. Seon-woo is quiet for a long time. Then, "I've been in this chair for 6 years. She turns her head, waits. "Construction site accident," he continues. "One of my own projects, a support column collapsed during a concrete pour. Severed my spinal cord at T12. His hands tighten on the armrests. They told me it was bad luck. Wrong place, wrong time. An unforeseeable tragedy. But you don't believe that." "No." The word is barely a whisper. "I don't." Before Amara can respond, Secretary Han appears in the doorway, breathless. "Sejongnim, forgive the interruption. The board has called an emergency meeting. They want you there in an hour." Seon-woo's expression shudders. "Tell them I'll attend virtually." "They've requested your physical presence, sir. Vice President Choi was insistent." Amara watches Seon-woo's jaw clench. Watches him transform from a man admitting doubt into a CEO armoring himself for battle. "Understood." He turns to Amara. "I'll see you tomorrow." After he leaves, Dr. Park helps Amara back into her wheelchair. "You got him to talk about the accident," she says quietly. "In 6 years, I've never heard him mention it to anyone. Maybe he's tired of pretending it didn't happen. Or maybe," Dr. Park says, her eyes distant, "he's starting to realize he can't run from it anymore." That night, Amara can't sleep. She opens her laptop and searches. Kang infrastructure construction accidents. The results make her blood run cold. 12 incidents in 8 years, 4 fatalities, dozens injured. Every case settled quietly, out of court, with NDAs and sealed records. And one name appears in the investigation reports again and again. Vice President Choi Tae-jun, Director of Operations. The man who just demanded Seon-woo's presence at an emergency board meeting. The media storm intensifies. Korean news networks play the footage on loop. Security cameras caught the moment Amara pushed Seon-woo's chair, the beam falling, her body crumpling under the weight. International outlets pick it up. American architect risks life to save Korean CEO. The framing is heroic, inspirational, the feel-good story of the year. Amara hates every second of it. Because none of the reports ask the question that matters. Why did the beam fall? She's propped in bed, scrolling through yet another article praising her selfless bravery when someone knocks. Not the gentle tap of hospital staff. A sharp, authoritative rap. The man who enters wears a suit that costs more than her monthly rent. 50s, silver hair, smile that doesn't reach his eyes. He extends a business card with both hands, a gesture of respect that feels rehearsed. "Miss Lewis, I'm Attorney Young, representing Kang Infrastructure. I've been asked to facilitate your recovery process." Amara doesn't take the card. Facilitate how? The company would like to express its gratitude. We're prepared to offer substantial compensation, enough to cover all medical expenses, lost income, and a considerable sum for pain and suffering. He places a folder on her bedside table. $2 million, deposited within 48 hours of signature. She opens the folder, scans the first page. In exchange for a non-disclosure agreement preventing me from discussing the accident, the construction site, or any aspect of Kang Infrastructure's operations. Standard protocol for liability mitigation. Standard cover-up, you mean? Attorney Jung's smile doesn't waver. Miss Lewis, I understand you may have concerns, but consider, this is a life-changing sum. You could return to the States, continue your career without financial stress, put this unfortunate incident behind you. Amara picks up the folder. For a moment, she just holds it. Then she tears it in half. Tell whoever sent you that I'm not for sale. Attorney Jung's smile finally cracks. Miss Lewis, I strongly advise. I'm not interested in your advice. I'm interested in why a beam fell on a site that passed safety inspections 3 weeks ago. I'm interested in who signed off on those inspections. I'm interested in how many other sites have the same problems, waiting to kill someone else. You're overstepping. His voice hardens. You're a consultant with no legal authority, no access to internal documents, and no standing to make accusations. I'm not making accusations. I'm asking questions. If your company has nothing to hide, you should welcome them. Attorney Jung stands. You're making a significant mistake. Wouldn't be the first time. After he leaves, Amara's hands shake, not from fear, from rage. She opens her laptop, pulls up every file she downloaded before the accident. Site plans, material specifications, contractor lists. Starts cross-referencing against public building codes. Within an hour, she finds the first discrepancy. The steel reinforcement specified in the public bid documents doesn't match the grade listed in the delivery receipts she photographed on site. Lower quality. Cheaper. Weaker. She finds the second discrepancy an hour later. The concrete mixture ratios in the construction logs don't meet seismic safety standards for the building's height classification. By midnight, she's found 7 violations. 7 ways the Hannum Cultural Center was built to save money at the expense of human lives. She saves everything to an encrypted cloud drive. Then she calls the only person she trusts in this city. Dr. Park, I need your help. And I need to know. Do you believe in doing the right thing even when it destroys you? There's a long pause. Then, come to my office tomorrow. 6 a.m. before rounds. And Miss Lewis, bring everything you've found. Because you're not the only one who's been asking these questions. When Amara hangs up, she notices a new email. No sender name. Subject line. Stop looking, or you'll join the others. Attached, a photo of her apartment in Brooklyn, taken from inside. Someone has been in her home. Someone wants her to know they can reach her anywhere. But instead of fear, she feels something cold and clarifying settle in her chest. They just confirmed everything she suspected. And they have no idea who they're dealing with. Kang Seon-woo doesn't remember the last time he slept through the night. He lies in his bedroom, minimalist, expensive, designed for a body that doesn't work the way it used to, and stares at the ceiling. 3:47 a.m. The exact time he wakes every night. Heart pounding. Phantom sensations screaming through nerves that no longer exist. The accident plays on loop in his mind. Not Amara's accident. His. He was 32, newly appointed CEO after his father's sudden stroke, determined to prove he wasn't just a chaebol prince who inherited power. The Gangnam Tower project was his first major solo venture, a mixed-use skyscraper that would redefine Seoul's skyline. He visited the site every week, pushed for faster progress, tighter schedules. When Vice President Choi suggested using a more cost-effective concrete supplier, Seon-woo approved it without checking credentials. When engineers raised concerns about the load-bearing columns, he told them to find solutions, not problems. The column collapsed on a Tuesday morning. Seon-woo was standing beneath it, reviewing plans with the site manager. He remembers the sound, a crack like thunder. Remembers looking up. remembers nothing after that until he woke in a hospital bed, unable to feel his legs. 7 people died that day. 14 were injured. The investigation concluded it was a confluence of unforeseeable factors. The company paid settlements. Families signed NDAs. No one went to prison. Seon-woo learned to walk again, through braces, then crutches, then finally accepting the wheelchair. He learned to be the CEO his father wanted, ruthless, efficient, untouchable. He built an empire where he controlled every variable, eliminated every risk, ensured nothing could ever hurt him again. Until a woman he'd never met threw herself into danger to save him and reminded him that control is an illusion. His phone buzzes. Secretary Han. "Sir, we have a situation. Someone leaked internal documents to a construction safety watchdog. They're requesting a full audit of all projects from the past decade." Seon-woo closes his eyes. Source of the leak? Unknown. But the watchdog is working with an American accessibility consultant. They won't name her, but it's Amara Lewis. Silence on the other end. Then, "What do you want me to do?" Seon-woo thinks about the look on her face when she asked why the beam fell. Thinks about the note he sent her. I should have asked years ago. Thinks about the 7 people who died because he was too arrogant to ask the right questions. Set up a meeting, not with the board, with her, alone. "Sir, I must advise..." "I'm not asking for advice, Ji-hoon. I'm telling you to arrange it." When he hangs up, he wheels himself to the window. Seoul stretches below him, a forest of glass and steel. Half of it built by his company, built by men like him who valued deadlines over lives, profit over people, appearance over truth. He built prisons and called them progress. And now the only person who sees clearly is the one he almost killed by proximity. At 7 a.m., Seon-woo receives a text from an unknown number. "Rooftop Garden, Asan Medical Center. 9 p.m. Come alone, or I walk straight to the prosecutors." AL. He doesn't tell anyone. He goes. The rooftop garden is empty at night, accessible only by elevator. It was designed as a healing space. Trees, benches, soft lighting. Seon-woo wheels himself onto the path and finds Amara waiting by the railing, back to him. She's standing. Barely. Leaning heavily on a cane, left leg trembling with effort, but standing. "You shouldn't be walking yet," he says. "You shouldn't be covering up manslaughter." She doesn't turn around. "But here we are." He moves closer. "You sent the documents to the Safety Council." "Copies. I have backups in 3 countries." Now she turns, and her eyes are fierce. "Your company has been cutting corners for a decade. Substandard materials, bribed inspectors, falsified safety reports. The beam that fell on me wasn't an accident. It was inevitable." "I know." She blinks. "You... what?" "I know." Seon-woo's voice is raw. "I've known for years that something was wrong. I just never had the courage to look directly at it. Because if I looked, I'd have to admit that my own accident wasn't bad luck. It was negligence. My negligence. And if I admitted that, I'd have to face the fact that 7 people died because I cared more about deadlines than lives." Amara stares at him. "Then why haven't you done anything?" "Because I was afraid." The admission costs him. Afraid of losing the company, afraid of prison, afraid of being seen as weak. So I hid behind settlements and NDAs and told myself I was protecting people by keeping them employed. I built a cage and convinced myself it was a kingdom. Silence. The city hums below them, oblivious. "What changed?" Amara asks quietly. "You nearly died saving me. And I realized that if I let the same system that broke me break you too, then I'm no better than the people who buried the truth about my accident." He meets her eyes. "So, I'm asking, what do you need from me?" She limps forward, stopping inches away. "I need you to burn it all down. Expose every violation, every bribe, every covered-up accident. I need you to cooperate with the auditors. I need you to testify against your own board if that's what it takes. I need you to destroy your empire to rebuild it into something that doesn't kill people. That will cost me everything. I know. They'll come after me. After you. They'll use every weapon they have. Let them. Xianwu looks at her. This woman who should hate him, who has every reason to walk away, who instead stands here demanding he become the man he's been too afraid to be. If I do this, he says slowly, I'll need your help. Someone who can't be bought. Someone who knows what to look for. Someone who gives a damn about people more than profit. Amara extends her hand. Partners in burning down an empire? He takes it. Her grip is strong, steady. Partners. What neither of them sees is the figure in the stairwell, phone camera recording everything. Vice President Choi watches the video twice, then makes a call. We have a problem, he says. And it's time to activate containment protocol. Both of them, whatever it takes. The sessions become routine. Every morning at 7 a.m. before the hospital fully wakes, Amara and Xianwu meet in the rehabilitation wing. They work in parallel, her rebuilding strength in a leg that may never be the same, him maintaining the body he spent 6 years learning to navigate. Dr. Park supervises with a watchful eye. She says little, but Amara notices how the therapist's gaze sometimes lingers on Xianwu, something dark and unreadable in her expression. One morning, while Amara struggles through resistance band exercises, Xianwu speaks without preamble. I've hired an independent safety firm. They'll audit every active Kang infrastructure project. Full transparency, unrestricted access. Amara's hands pause. And the board approved this. The board doesn't know yet. I'm presenting it as a done deal at tomorrow's meeting. They'll fight you. Let them. He shifts in his chair, jaw tight. I've also instructed Secretary Han to compile every settlement agreement from the past 10 years. Victims who signed NDAs. I'm offering to void those agreements and reopen negotiations without confidentiality clauses. Xianwu, that's corporate suicide? He meets her eyes. Probably, but I'm tired of building on graves. Dr. Park drops a clipboard. The clatter echoes through the room. They both turn. Sorry, she says, bending to retrieve it, but her hands are shaking. Amara frowns. Dr. Park, are you all right? The therapist straightens, composing herself with visible effort. Fine, just tired. She glances at Xianwu. Mr. Kang, may I speak with you privately after the session? His expression is guarded. Of course. The rest of the hour passes in tense silence. When they finish, Xianwu follows Dr. Park to her office. Amara considers leaving, but something stops her. She wheels herself to the corridor, stopping just outside the partially open door. 15 years, Dr. Park is saying, voice strained. 15 years I've watched you come here, watched you rebuild yourself, and I said nothing. Because I thought maybe you were a victim too. Dr. Park, I don't understand. Gangnam Tower, March 14th, 2019. You remember that project? Silence, then carefully. Yes. My sister was there. Kim Mi-young. She was a structural engineer. 27 years old, newly married, 3 months pregnant. Dr. Park's voice cracks. She died when the column collapsed. Your column. Your project. The air leaves the room. I didn't know. Xianwu whispers. I know. I never sued. Never came forward. I just took this job at the hospital where you did rehab. Told myself I wanted to understand you. But really, I think I was punishing myself. Treating the man whose choices killed my sister. Watching him suffer. Wondering if that made us even. She's crying now. And then this woman appears. This stranger who doesn't know you. Doesn't owe you anything. And she nearly dies to save your life. And I realized suffering doesn't balance the scales. It just creates more suffering. Amara's chest tightens. She should leave. This isn't hers to hear. But she stays. Misun. Xianwu's voice is wrecked. I can't. There's nothing I can say that. I don't want apologies. Dr. Park cuts him off. I want to know if you meant what you said. About auditing the projects, voiding the NDAs, because if you're serious, I have something for you. Rustling. the sound of a drawer opening. I kept her notes, my Young's. She documented everything she saw on that site, the discrepancies, the pressure from management, the corners being cut. She was going to report it formally, but she died before she could. A pause. These notes detail every violation. Names, dates, specific materials. If you're really committed to transparency, you need to see what your own engineer tried to tell you. Silence stretches so long, Amara thinks someone's noticed her. Then, thank you for trusting me with this. I don't deserve... You're right, you don't. But maybe that American architect is onto something. Maybe the point isn't what we deserve. It's what we do with the truth once we finally see it. Footsteps approach the door. Amara wheels back quickly, barely making it around the corner before Xianwu emerges. His face is gray, eyes haunted. He's clutching a worn notebook. He sees her, knows immediately that she heard. How much? He asks quietly. Enough. She holds his gaze. Are you okay? No, but I'm going to fix this. He looks down at the notebook. Even if it destroys me, I'm going to fix this. That night, Amara receives a message from Secretary Han. The board meeting has been moved up to tomorrow, 8 a.m. VP Choi has gathered votes for a motion of no confidence. If Mr. Kang presents his audit plan, they'll remove him as CEO. What should I tell him? She types back. Tell him to present it anyway, and tell him he won't be standing alone. The Kang Infrastructure boardroom occupies the 48th floor, glass walls offering a view of the empire below. 12 directors sit around the table, men and women in expensive suits, expressions ranging from curious to hostile. At the head sits Vice President Choi Tae-jun, silver hair perfect, smile predatory. Xianwu wheels in at exactly 8 a.m. Secretary Han follows, tablet in hand. And behind them, uninvited and unannounced, Amara Lewis. She's traded the hospital gown for professional attire. Gray blazer, white blouse, slacks. The cane is obvious, her limp pronounced. Every eye in the room tracks her entrance. Choi's smile vanishes. Mr. Kang, this is a closed board meeting. Outsiders are not permitted. Miss Lewis is here as my consultant on accessibility and safety standards. Xianwu's voice is ice. Given the purpose of this meeting, her expertise is invaluable. The purpose of this meeting, Choi counters, is to address your recent, erratic behavior. Hiring external auditors without board approval. Making unilateral decisions about settlement agreements. Undermining decades of corporate protocol. The purpose of this meeting, Xianwu corrects, is to decide whether this company continues to profit from negligence or whether we finally take responsibility for the lives we've destroyed. Choi leans back, expression hardening. Careful, Mr. Kang. You're addressing the people who kept this company alive after your accident. The pause before accident is deliberate. A knife twisted with precision. Amara watches Xianwu's hands tighten on his armrests, watches him breathe through the provocation. You're right, he says evenly. This board did keep the company operational by covering up violations, by bribing inspectors, by burying evidence and silencing victims. And I allowed it because I was too broken to fight and too afraid to look at what we'd become. Murmurs ripple around the table. But I'm looking now. Xianwu nods to Han, who projects a document onto the screen. This is the independent audit contract. Comprehensive review of all active projects with unrestricted access to materials, personnel, and financial records. I signed it yesterday. The room explodes. Voices overlapping, some directors standing. Choi's fist hits the table. You exceeded your authority. The board votes on expenditures of this magnitude. The board votes on normal business operations. This is crisis management. Xianwu's voice cuts through the chaos. Because in 3 days, the National Construction Safety Council will begin their own investigation. And I'd rather control the narrative by being transparent than wait for prosecutors to drag the truth into daylight. You're bluffing, Choi snarls. Amara steps forward. He's not. I submitted evidence of multiple code violations to the Safety Council last week. They've already identified 12 projects for immediate review. By tomorrow morning, this will be national news. Choi's eyes narrow. You're behind all of this. No. Your company's negligence is behind this. I just refuse to ignore it. You're a foreign consultant with no legal standing, a publicity stunt. The board will discredit. The board will cooperate. The new voice comes from the doorway. A woman in her 60s enters, regal bearing, silver hair and a neat chignon. Directors immediately stand. Xianwu's eyes widen. Grandmother. Chairwoman Kang Sun-hee built Kang Infrastructure alongside her late husband. Officially retired, she maintains controlling interest and veto power. She's rarely seen in public anymore. Until now. She takes the seat at the table's head, forcing Choi to move aside. Sit, all of you. They obey. Sun-hee looks at Xianwu. You hired auditors without consulting me. Yes, ma'am. You're prepared to expose decades of company secrets. Yes, ma'am. Knowing it may destroy everything your grandfather built. Xianwu doesn't flinch. Grandfather built a construction company that employed thousands and shaped a city. What we became afterward, that's not his legacy. That's ours. And I won't let it continue. Sun-hee studies him for a long moment. Then she turns to Amara. You nearly died saving my grandson. I nearly died because your grandson's company cut corners on safety. Someone gasps. Han looks like he's aged 5 years. But Sun-hee laughs, sharp, genuine. Finally, someone in this room with a spine. She looks around the table. Does anyone else wish to speak frankly? Or shall we continue pretending our hands are clean? Choi stands, face red. Chairwoman, with respect, you don't understand the complexities. I understand that my grandson's accident was caused by negligence we covered up. I understand we've paid hundreds of millions in settlements to buy silence. I understand that if we don't act now, this company will fall, not because of some American architect, but because we built it on bones and called it success. Her voice turns to steel. The audit proceeds. Anyone who obstructs it will be terminated immediately. Are we clear? Silence. Absolute. Good. This meeting is adjourned. Xianwu, Miss Lewis. Remain. The directors file out. Choi lingers, eyes promising retribution, then leaves. When they're alone, Sun-hee's composure cracks slightly. I knew, she says quietly. About the shortcuts, the bribes. I told myself it was just business, that everyone did it, that as long as no one died. She trails off. And then the Gangnam Tower. 7 people. My grandson in a wheelchair. And I still did nothing, because I was afraid of what truth would cost. You're acting now, Xianwu says. Too late. But yes. She looks at Amara. My grandson trusts you. I'm not sure why, but I've learned to trust his judgment. Will you help us? Help you how? Rebuild this company into something worthy of the lives it employs. Work with the auditors. Design new standards. Make sure we don't just survive this scandal. We use it to become better. Amara glances at Xianwu. He's watching her with something that might be hope. On 2 conditions, she says. First, every victim who signed an NDA gets full disclosure of what was hidden and the option to speak publicly without penalty. Second, I report directly to the chairwoman, not the board. If I find something wrong, I say it. No filters. Sun-hee extends her hand. Agreed. They shake. As they leave the building, Secretary Han murmurs, that was either brilliant or catastrophic. We'll know which when the media gets hold of this. Amara's phone buzzes. Unknown number. Text message. You made a powerful enemy today. Choi doesn't forgive. Watch your back. And tell your mother in Brooklyn the same. A friend. Her blood runs cold. She shows Xianwu the screen. His jaw sets. They just declared war. Good, Amara says. I'm tired of waiting for them to throw the first punch. The news breaks at 6 p.m. Kang Infrastructure faces safety crisis. CEO orders internal audit amid whistleblower claims. Every major outlet runs it. Within hours, stock prices plummet. Investors demand statements. Rival companies circle like sharks. Amara watches it unfold from her temporary apartment, a furnished unit Sion Wu insisted she use instead of a hotel, claiming it was practical, not charity. She's learning that he shows care through logistics. Her phone rings. Dr. Park. Turn on Channel 7. Now. She switches channels. A press conference. Vice President Choi stands at a podium, expression somber, deeply concerned about recent allegations. However, I want to assure the public that Kang Infrastructure has always maintained the highest safety standards. The so-called violations referenced in news reports are based on preliminary findings taken out of context by individuals unfamiliar with industry practices. Amara's grip tightens on the remote. Choi continues. Furthermore, it's come to our attention that Miss Amara Lewis, the consultant making these claims, may have financial motivations. We've discovered she previously sued a construction company in the United States and received a substantial settlement. It appears she may be attempting to replicate that success here. The screen cuts to documents, legal filings, her mother's lawsuit, settlement amounts. He's lying, Amara breathes. That lawsuit was legitimate. My mother was injured because... I know, Dr. Park says, but he's reframing your credibility. By tomorrow, half the country will think you're an opportunist. What do I do? Fight back. You have the evidence. Use it. Amara hangs up and immediately calls Sion Wu. He answers on the first ring. I just saw... I'm handling it. His voice is tight with rage. Choi acted without board approval. My grandmother is already drafting his termination. He attacked my mother on national television. I know, and I'm sorry. But Amara, you need to stay out of sight. Choi is desperate. Desperate people are dangerous. I'm not hiding. I'm not asking you to hide. I'm asking you to be smart. Let the auditors finish. Let the evidence speak. Don't give Choi ammunition by... A crash. Glass shattering. Amara spins. Her living room window has exploded inward. A brick lies amid the shards, paper wrapped around it. Amara, what was that? She unwraps the paper with shaking hands, block letters in red ink. Leave Korea, or your mother dies. Someone just threw a brick through my window. Don't move. I'm sending security. Stay away from the windows. She backs into the kitchen, heart pounding. Sion Wu, they know where I live. They know where my mother lives. How? Choi has connections in corporate espionage. I should have anticipated this. I should have... Stop. She forces her voice steady. We don't have time for guilt. What we need is a plan. Silence. Then, can you travel? What? My family has a private residence in Jeju Island. Remote, secure, off the grid. You'll be safe there while we finalize the audit. Once we have irrefutable evidence, we go public together. United front. Running to an island sounds like hiding. Hiding is letting them intimidate you into silence. Strategy is regrouping to fight smarter. His voice softens. Please. I can't let anyone else get hurt because of me. Amara looks at the broken glass, the thread on paper. Thinks about her mother, alone in Brooklyn. Fine. But my mother needs protection too. Already arranged. Secretary Han is coordinating with a security firm in New York. She'll have a detail within the hour. You think of everything, don't you? I have to. Control is the only thing that keeps me sane. She hears the exhaustion in his voice, the weight of holding everything together. Sion Wu, we're going to win this. How do you know? Because the truth doesn't care how powerful your enemies are. It just waits until you're brave enough to speak it. 3 hours later, Amara boards a private plane to Jeju. Secretary Han accompanies her, along with 2 security personnel. The flight is short. The residence, when they arrive, is stunning. Modern architecture nestled into cliffs overlooking the ocean. Floor-to-ceiling windows, accessible design throughout. Every ramp perfectly graded. Mr. Kang designed this himself, Han says quietly. After his accident. It was his first project as CEO, a place where he didn't have to fight the architecture just to exist. Amara runs her hand along a wall, feels the care in every detail. He doesn't talk about his work this way. He doesn't talk about most things, but he shows them. Han pauses. He's never brought anyone here. This is his sanctuary. Then why? Because he trusts you. And for someone who controls everything to survive, trust is the rarest currency. That night, Amara can't sleep. She wheels herself onto the deck, breathing salt air, watching waves crash below. Her phone buzzes. Text from Sion Wu. Are you safe? She smiles despite everything. Yes, your house is beautiful. It's the only place I don't feel like I'm performing. You should feel that way everywhere. Maybe someday. The audit results come back tomorrow. Preliminary findings are bad, worse than I thought. How bad? 36 projects with major violations. 8 with immediate safety risks. If we shut them all down simultaneously, it could bankrupt the company. Amara's breath catches. But if you don't, people could die. I know. So the choice is clear. Is it? Bankruptcy means thousands lose jobs. Suppliers go unpaid. Families suffer. How do I balance their lives against theoretical future risks? She thinks carefully before responding. You're asking the wrong question. It's not about balancing. It's about refusing to build safety on someone else's suffering. Fix the projects. Support the workers through the transition. But don't sacrifice people because fixing your mistakes is expensive. Long pause. Then, you'd make a terrible CEO. Too ethical. I'll take that as a compliment. It was. Get some rest. Tomorrow changes everything. But when tomorrow comes, what changes isn't what either of them expected. Because at 6 a.m., Secretary Han wakes Amara with a single sentence. Mr. Kang has been arrested. The charges are criminal negligence and obstruction of justice. Amara watches the news in disbelief. Sion Wu, in handcuffs, being led into a police station. His face expressionless, every camera in Seoul capturing the moment. The anchor's voice is grave. Allegations that CEO Kang Seon-woo personally ordered the destruction of evidence related to the Hanam Cultural Center collapse. Prosecutors claim he knew about safety violations and actively concealed them. If convicted, he faces up to 15 years in prison. That's insane, Amara says. He's the one who ordered the audit. Why would he destroy evidence? Han's expression is dark. He wouldn't. But someone wants the world to think he did. Choi. Almost certainly. The prosecutor leading the case, Yoon Jae-sung, is known for taking corporate corruption cases. He's also Choi's former college roommate. That's a conflict of interest. In theory. In practice, it's Korea. Connections matter more than ethics. Han sets down his tablet. There's more. The evidence they're citing, documents showing Seon-woo approved substandard materials. Those were in files only accessible to board members. Someone on the board framed him. Choi has the access and motive, but proving it, Han trails off helplessly. Amara's mind races. The audit, the independent firm. They've been gathering evidence for weeks. If their findings contradict the prosecutor's claims, the prosecutor's office seized all audit materials this morning, claimed it's evidence in an ongoing investigation. They can't do that. They already did. Fury claws up Amara's throat. So Choi frames Seon-woo, gets him arrested, and confiscates the evidence that would clear him. Neat and tidy. Unless we find evidence they don't know about. Amara looks at Han sharply. Do we have any? Possibly. Before his arrest, Mr. Kang sent me an encrypted file. He said if anything happened to him, I should give it to you. Han pulls a USB drive from his pocket. I haven't opened it. He said only you would know what to do with it. She takes the drive with shaking hands, plugs it into her laptop. A video file opens. Seon-woo, sitting in his home office, exhaustion etched into every line of his face. Amara, if you're watching this, I've been arrested or silenced. I need you to know, I didn't destroy evidence. I preserved it. What's on this drive is every document the auditors gave me before they were seized. Contracts, inspection reports, emails, Everything proving the violations were systematic and approved at the board level. He pauses, choosing words carefully. There's a specific file, Beam 9. It's the support structure that fell on you. The metallurgical analysis shows the steel was grade Q235B, cheap, used in low-stress applications. But the approved specifications called for Q345, high-strength steel rated for heavy loads. Someone changed the order after I signed off on the project, pocketed the cost difference, and falsified the inspection records. Amara's chest tightens. The beam that crushed her leg was sabotaged. Sion Wu continues. The person who changed that order has signature authority identical to mine. There are only 2 people in the company with that access, me and Choi. I didn't change it, which means he did. And if he did it for Beam 9, he's done it for dozens of other projects. People have died, Amara, and he's been covering it up for a decade. His eyes are hollow. I'm trusting you with this because you're the only person I know who can't be bought or intimidated. Use it however you see fit. Burn the company down if you have to. Just don't let Choi win. The video ends. Amara stares at the screen, mind reeling. Han, can this be authenticated? Verified as legitimate evidence? In court? Maybe. But it would take months. And by then, Mr. Kang will already be convicted. Then we don't go to court. We go public. Han's eyes widen. If you release this without legal protection, Choi will sue you for defamation. You could face criminal charges yourself. Let him try. Amara's voice is steel. I have the metallurgical reports. I have the falsified inspection records. I have emails from Choi to suppliers discussing cost optimization on projects where people died. The truth doesn't care about defamation lawsuits. Miss Lewis, I understand your anger, but no, you don't. She stands, leaning heavily on her cane. I lost the full use of my leg because someone decided saving money was more important than human safety. Sion Wu lost the use of his legs for the same reason. 7 people died at Gangnam Tower. How many more across all those projects? How many families destroyed so Choi could pad his offshore accounts? Her voice cracks. I didn't come to Seoul to be a hero. I came to do a job. But if that job means standing by while innocent people go to prison and guilty ones walk free, then I'm in the wrong profession. Han is quiet for a long moment. Then he straightens his glasses. Decision made. What do you need from me? Access to every journalist who covered the Hanam collapse. The Safety Council investigators. Anyone with a platform and a conscience. She opens her laptop, fingers flying across keys. We release everything simultaneously. Emails to media, uploaded to public servers, sent to prosecutors who aren't in Choi's pocket. Make it impossible to suppress. That will take time to coordinate. We have 12 hours before Sion Wu's arraignment. If Choi gets him formally charged, public opinion will turn against him. We need to move now. Han nods. I'll make the calls. By midnight, they've compiled a list of 17 journalists, 5 prosecutors, 3 safety advocacy groups, and 2 rival construction companies who would benefit from Kang Infrastructure's downfall. Amara crafts the message carefully. To whom it may concern. The arrest of Kang Sion Wu is a miscarriage of justice orchestrated by the true architect of systemic safety violations. Attached are documented proof of material substitutions, falsified inspections, and financial transfers connecting Vice President Choi Tae-jun to a decade of negligence resulting in multiple deaths. This information is being released simultaneously to ensure it cannot be suppressed. The truth will be heard. Amara Lewis, accessibility consultant. Her finger hovers over send. Once I do this, there's no going back, she says. Choi will come after me with everything he has. He's already coming after you, Han points out. At least this way, you're not alone in the fight. She thinks of Sion Wu, sitting in a cell, taking the fall for crimes he tried to expose. Thinks of Dr. Park's sister, dead at 27. Thinks of her own mother, who spent 5 years navigating a world that refused to accommodate her existence. She clicks send. The emails deploy like depth charges. Within minutes, responses start flooding in. journalists requesting interviews, prosecutors asking for meetings, advocacy groups offering support, and one message from an unknown number. You just signed your death warrant. CT. Amara shows it to Han. Choi's not subtle when he's cornered, Han observes. Good. Means we hit a nerve. Her phone rings. She doesn't recognize the number but answers anyway. Miss Lewis? The voice is female, older, authoritative. This is Chairwoman Kang Sun-hee. I just received your email packet. Amara's heart skips. Ma'am, You did exactly what needed to be done. I've been on the phone with my attorneys for the past hour. We're filing emergency motions to freeze Choi's assets and remove him from the board. The evidence you provided gives us legal grounds. Will it be enough to free Seon-woo? It should be. But the prosecutor may resist dropping charges immediately. It would make him look incompetent or complicit. Sun-hee pauses. There's something else. The media is requesting a statement from you. They want to know why an American architect is crusading against a Korean conglomerate. What should I tell them? The truth. That you nearly died because of corporate negligence, and you refused to let anyone else suffer the same fate. Koreans respect directness, Miss Lewis, especially when it comes from someone who has nothing to gain and everything to lose. Amara closes her eyes. I'm not a public speaker. You don't need to be. You just need to be honest. Sun-hee's voice softens. My grandson trusts you. That's rare for him. Don't underestimate what your voice can accomplish. After they hang up, Han presents her with a list of interview requests. KBS, MBC, JTBC, all the major networks, plus international outlets, CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera. This story is going global. When? Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. press conference. Are you ready? Amara looks at the USB drive, still plugged into her laptop. Thinks about Seon-woo's exhausted face in that video. His trust. His desperate hope that someone would finally do the right thing. I have to be. The press conference takes place at the National Press Center in downtown Seoul. Amara sits at a table flanked by Han and two attorneys from Kang Infrastructure's legal team. Cameras pack the room. Every seat filled, reporters standing along the walls. The energy is electric, predatory. She's dressed in a simple navy suit, hair pulled back, minimal makeup. The cane rests against her chair where everyone can see it. A physical reminder of what this fight has cost. A reporter stands. Miss Lewis, Vice President Choi claims you're motivated by financial gain and have fabricated evidence. How do you respond? Amara meets the camera directly. I respond with facts. The metallurgical analysis of Beam 9, the structure that crushed my leg, proves it was substandard material substituted after CEO Kang approved high-grade steel. The financial records show payment transfers from Kang Infrastructure to shell companies controlled by Mr. Choi, totaling over $50 million across 8 years. The emails show Mr. Choi pressuring engineers to cut costs and falsify safety reports. She pauses. I didn't fabricate any of this. I simply refuse to ignore it. Another reporter. But you're not Korean. You don't understand our business culture. Isn't this cultural imperialism? Imposing American standards on Korean practices? Safety isn't cultural. Physics doesn't care about nationality. When a beam falls, it kills Korean and American workers equally. Her voice hardens. And if business culture means accepting preventable deaths as the cost of profit, then that culture needs to change. What do you hope to accomplish? Justice for the victims. Accountability for the perpetrators. And structural reform so no one else has to choose between their livelihood and their life. A voice from the back. Do you have feelings for Kang Seon-woo? Is that why you're defending him? The room goes silent. Amara's jaw tightens. I'm defending the truth. Mr. Kang happens to be on the side of truth, which is why he's in jail, and the man who framed him is still free. My feelings are irrelevant. But even as she says it, she knows it's a lie. Her feelings are deeply, dangerously relevant. The press conference continues for 90 minutes. By the end, Amara's leg is screaming in pain, but she doesn't show it, doesn't give them the satisfaction. When it's finally over, Han wheels her to a private room. You did well, he says. Social media is exploding. Justice for Kang is trending. Public opinion is shifting. Will it be enough? Before Han can answer, his phone rings. He listens, face transforming from cautious to shocked to elated. They're releasing him. The prosecutor's office just announced they're dropping charges pending further investigation. Mr. Kang will be free within the hour. Relief hits Amara so hard she nearly collapses. Where will he go? Here. He asked to see you immediately. Seon-woo arrives looking like he's aged a decade in 24 hours. His suit is wrinkled, hair disheveled, exhaustion carved into every line of his face. But when he sees Amara, something in him softens. You didn't have to do that, he says quietly. Yes, I did. You put yourself in danger. Again. For me. For the truth. You just happen to be collateral damage. A ghost of a smile. Is that what I am? Collateral damage? She stops. Doesn't know how to finish that sentence. They're alone in the room. Han tactfully disappeared moments ago. Seon-woo wheels closer. I watched your press conference. From the station before they released me. You were extraordinary. I was terrified. You didn't show it. He reaches out, hesitates. She takes his hand. Amara, I need you to understand something. Choi won't stop. He'll escalate. He'll use every dirty trick, every connection, every weapon at his disposal. Staying in this fight means becoming a target. I'm already a target. It will get worse. Let it. She squeezes his hand. I'm not going anywhere. He looks at their joined hands. I don't know how to do this. Any of this. I've spent 6 years building walls, and you keep demolishing them. Good. Walls don't keep you safe. They just keep you alone. I don't want to be alone anymore. The admission costs him, but I don't know how to let someone in without destroying them. You're not destroying me. You're giving me a reason to fight. She leans forward. Seon-woo, we're going to win this. Not just against Choi. Against every system that treats people as acceptable losses. But I need you to trust me. Completely. I do. Then trust me when I say, you don't owe me your life. You don't owe me protection. What you owe me is partnership, equal footing, fighting side by side, not with you throwing yourself in front of every bullet. He's quiet for a long moment. Then, equal partners. Equal partners. They shake on it, but neither lets go immediately. The air between them shifts, charged, dangerous. Amara clears her throat, pulling back. There's work to do. Choi's still out there. Right. Work. But Seon-woo's eyes linger on her face. That night, Amara receives a call from an unknown international number. She almost doesn't answer, but something makes her pick up. Hello? Heavy breathing, then a woman's voice, shaking with fear. Amara, it's Mom. Mom? What's wrong? Are you okay? There are men outside the house, the security you sent. They stopped them, but... Her voice breaks. They said to tell you, drop the case or next time they won't stop. In Amara's vision tunnels. Put me on speaker. Put the security team on. Miss Lewis? A male voice, professional. Your mother's safe. The individuals didn't breach the perimeter. But they made their message clear. Who were they? Unknown. They fled before we could detain them. But Miss Lewis, this is escalating. You might want to consider bringing your mother somewhere secure. Amara looks at Seon-woo, who's watching with growing alarm. Bring her here, she says. To Seoul, to the Jeju residence. Can that be arranged? Miss Lewis, I can't ask you to. Her mother starts. You're not asking. I'm telling you. These people want me scared. They want me isolated. I won't give them that satisfaction. Her voice steadies. Mom, do you trust me? A long pause. Always. Then pack a bag. You're coming to Korea. Choi Tae-jun sits in his home office, a fortress of dark wood and leather overlooking the Han River. He's on his third whiskey when the call comes. They released Kang. His contact in the prosecutor's office reports. The evidence that American Woman released is creating problems. Multiple investigations are opening. Your name is coming up. Choi's grip tightens on the glass. Handle it. I can't. This is too public now. If I suppress it, I'll be implicated too. Then you're useless to me. Choi hangs up. He stands, pacing. The walls are lined with photos, groundbreaking ceremonies, ribbon cuttings, award presentations. 30 years of building an empire, and some foreign architect threatens to tear it all down in 3 weeks. His phone buzzes. Text from an unlisted number. The mother is in transit. ETA Seoul 18 hours. Orders? Choi considers. If he moves against the mother on Korean soil, it's kidnapping. International incident. Too risky. But if he can make Amara Lewis disappear before she testifies to prosecutors, he makes another call. I need a team. Discreet. The target is at the Jeju residence. It needs to look like an accident. Understood. When? Tonight, before they can move her again. Amara can't sleep. The Jeju residence feels too quiet, too isolated. She wheels herself through the halls, checking locks, testing the security system Han installed. 2:30 a.m. Her mother's plane lands in Incheon in 14 hours. Then a helicopter to Jeju, then safety, if they can make it that long. She's in the kitchen, making tea when the lights go out. Every light in the house, simultaneously. Amara freezes. The backup generator should have kicked in. It didn't. Her phone. Where is her phone? She left it in the bedroom. Footsteps. Multiple sets, moving with military precision. Professional, coordinated. She grabs the closest weapon, a kitchen knife, and wheels silently into the pantry, pulling the door almost closed. Through the gap, she watches. 3 figures in black, faces covered. Thermal goggles. Moving room to room, searching methodically. Target should be here, one murmurs in Korean. Find her. They split up. One heads upstairs. 2 stay on the main floor. Amara's mind races. The panic button Han installed is in the bedroom. Her phone is in the bedroom. She's trapped in the pantry with a knife and a wheelchair. She needs a new plan. The house has a server room, Seon Woo's personal workspace when he's here. If she can get there, she can trigger the security alert manually. But it's across the main living area. No cover. And she's in a wheelchair. The intruders are moving away, searching other rooms. She has maybe 60 seconds. She eases the pantry door open. The kitchen opens to the living room, which opens to the hallway. The server room is 3rd door on the left. 20 meters. In a wheelchair. Silently. She pushes forward. Slow. Controlled. Every rotation of the wheels sounds deafening in her ears. 15 meters. A door opens behind her. Kitchen clear. Moving to... Wait. She's been spotted. Amara abandons stealth and pushes hard, racing across the living room. Her shoulders scream. The wheelchair wasn't built for speed. Stop! Don't make this harder! She reaches the hallway. The server room door is locked. Biometric scanner. She presses her thumb to it, praying Seon Woo added her to the access list. The lock disengages. She throws herself inside, slams the door, engages the manual deadbolt. Fists pound on the door. Open up. We just want to talk. Talk, with faces covered and weapons drawn. Sure. Amara wheels to the server console, finds the emergency alert system, activates it. Sirens blare throughout the house. Exterior lights flood on. The security company will be notified. Police automatically dispatched. Response time to this location, 15 minutes. The pounding on the door stops. Muffled conversation, then footsteps retreating. Amara slumps in her chair, adrenaline crashing. She's shaking so hard she can barely hold the knife. Her phone, she needs her phone, needs to tell someone. The door explodes inward, not the main door. The service panel. One of the intruders must have found the building plans. A figure steps through, pistol drawn. I'm sorry, he says. Orders are orders. Amara raises the knife. Stay back. Don't be stupid. You're in a wheelchair. I'm armed. This ends one way. You're right. She throws the knife at his face, not to hit, but to distract. and rams her wheelchair into his legs as hard as she can. He stumbles, firing reflexively. The shot goes wide, shattering a server. Sparks explode. Smoke billows. Amara doesn't stop to see if she heard him. She pushes through the service panel into the maintenance corridor beyond, a narrow space running behind the walls, not wheelchair accessible. But she doesn't have a choice. She abandons the chair and crawls, dragging her injured leg. Every movement is agony. Behind her, coughing, cursing, pursuit. The corridor ends at an exterior access hatch. She throws it open and tumbles out onto wet grass. Rain? When did it start raining? Sirens in the distance, getting closer. She pulls herself toward the driveway, grass and mud soaking through her clothes. Her leg is useless, screaming. She's leaving a trail, but the sirens are getting louder. Headlights sweep across her. Police. Thank God. Officers swarm the property. Medics rush to her. Someone wraps a blanket around her shoulders. Miss Lewis? Can you hear me? How many were there? 3. She gasps. At least 3. They broke in. Tried to... We found evidence of forced entry. They fled when the alarm activated. Are you injured? My leg. I need to call... A phone is pressed into her hand. She dials Sion Wu's number with trembling fingers. He answers instantly. Amara, are you all right? The security company called, said there was a breach. They tried to kill me. Her voice cracks. Sion Wu, they broke into the house. They were armed. If I hadn't locked myself in the server room, I'm on my way. Stay with the police. Don't go anywhere alone. Do you understand? My mother. If they came after me, they might... Already handled. I diverted her flight to a secure location. She's safe. You're safe. Just hold on. But she doesn't feel safe. She feels hunted. When Sion Wu arrives 90 minutes later, he finds her sitting in an ambulance, hypothermic and in shock, but refusing to go to the hospital. He wheels up the ramp, and she collapses into him without a word. They stay like that for a long time, her shaking against his chest, his arms wrapped around her like he can shield her from the entire world. And in that moment, both of them realize this stopped being about justice somewhere along the way. It became about not losing each other, which makes everything that happens next so much more dangerous. Dr. Park insists Amara return to Asan Medical Center for observation. Hypothermia, re-injury to the surgical site, and psychological trauma, she says firmly. You're staying overnight, non-negotiable. Sion Wu doesn't argue. He stays with her. They give Amara a private room. Sion Wu parks his wheelchair beside the bed and refuses to leave. When nurses suggest he should rest, he just stares until they back off. At 3:47 a.m., Amara wakes from a nightmare, gasping. Sion Wu is there immediately, hand on her arm. You're safe. You're in the hospital. I'm here. They were going to kill me. Her voice is small. If I hadn't locked that door... But you did. You survived. For how long? Choi won't stop. He can't afford to. I'm a witness to everything. As long as I'm alive... Stop. Sion Wu's voice is harsh. Don't talk like that. I'm being realistic. You're catastrophizing. He softens. Amara, listen to me. Choi is desperate. That makes him dangerous, yes. But it also makes him sloppy. He sent armed men to my private residence, a location only a handful of people know about. That means someone on my staff leaked it. We can use that. Use it how? Feed false information, set a trap. Make him think you're vulnerable when you're actually surrounded by protection. His eyes are sharp despite the exhaustion. I won't let him touch you again. You can't promise that. Watch me. She studies his face, the stubborn set of his jaw, the protective intensity in his eyes. You're doing it again, trying to control everything, trying to protect me like I'm fragile. You almost died. Twice. I think some protection is warranted. I don't need protection. I need partnership. Remember? Partnership doesn't mean letting you walk into gunfire. And it doesn't mean you making decisions for me. She sits up, wincing. Sion Wu, I'm not leaving this fight. not because of threats, not because of danger. If you can't accept that, I can't accept losing you. The words explode out of him. Then silence. Heavy, charged. Amara's breath catches. Xianwu looks away, jaw clenched. I can't accept it. I've lost too many people. My father, my mobility, 7 workers at Gangnam Tower, everyone I've ever let close enough to hurt. And then you appeared, this impossible woman who doesn't care about money or power or any of the things that usually matter. And you just keep throwing yourself into danger like your life is expendable. It's not. It's not expendable. Not to me. The confession hangs between them. What are you saying? Amara asks quietly. I'm saying I care about you. More than I should. More than is smart or professional or appropriate given that I'm the reason you're injured in the first place. He finally meets her eyes. I'm saying that every time you're in danger, I can't breathe. I'm saying that watching you in that press conference, defending me when you had every reason not to. He stops. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to care about someone without it destroying them. Amara reaches for his hand. He lets her take it. You're not going to destroy me, she says. I'm tougher than you think. You shouldn't have to be tough. You should be safe. Safe is boring. I'd rather be here, with you, fighting for something that matters. Even if it kills you? Even then. She squeezes his hand. But for the record, I'm not planning on dying. I have too much left to do. Cities to redesign, systems to dismantle, stubborn CEOs to keep honest. A small smile. I'm stubborn? Incredibly. Takes one to know one. They sit in comfortable silence, hands intertwined. Then Amara says, for what it's worth, I care about you too. Also more than I should. Also, possibly inappropriately. But I'm not good at denying how I feel, so there it is. Xianwu's smile widens. What are we doing? Absolutely nothing smart. Want to do it anyway? Desperately. He leans in. She meets him halfway. The kiss is gentle, tentative, laced with months of tension finally breaking. When they pull apart, Xianwu rests his forehead against hers. This complicates things, he murmurs. Everything was already complicated. Fair point. A knock interrupts. Park enters, stops dead when she sees their proximity. I'm not even going to ask, she says. But Miss Lewis, you have a visitor. Your mother just arrived. Amara's mother, Diana Lewis, is a force of nature. She barrels into the room, expensive coat still on, hair windswept, eyes blazing. She takes one look at her daughter, bandaged, bruised, exhausted, and her expression crumbles. Baby. She gathers Amara into a fierce hug. My baby. What have you gotten yourself into? I'm okay, Mom. You're not okay. You're in a hospital, again. Because some corporate psychopath tried to kill you. Diana pulls back, cupping Amara's face. We're going home. Today. I'm booking flights. Mom, I can't. Yes, you can. You're an American citizen. You don't owe these people anything. I owe them the truth. I owe them justice. Amara takes her mother's hands. Mom, they almost killed Xianwu. They did kill 7 people 6 years ago. They'll keep killing unless someone stops them. And I'm the only one who has all the evidence. Diana's eyes narrow. Then she looks at Xianwu, assessing. You're the CEO. Yes, ma'am. The one who almost got my daughter killed. Yes, ma'am. And you're sitting here like you have a right to be near her after everything your company did? Xianwu doesn't flinch. No, ma'am. I don't have that right. But your daughter keeps allowing me the privilege anyway, and I'm trying to be worthy of it. Diana studies him for a long, uncomfortable moment. Then, you're in love with her. Xianwu blinks. We haven't... That's not... Don't insult my intelligence. I'm a mother. I can see it from across the room. She turns to Amara. And you're in love with him. Mom, deny it. Amara opens her mouth, closes it. It's complicated. Love usually is. Diana sighs, sinking into a chair. Fine. Tell me everything. And I mean everything. Because if I'm staying in this country while my daughter plays vigilante, I want to know exactly what we're up against. They talk for 2 hours. Amara lays out the evidence, the pattern of negligence, Choi's corruption, the attempts on her life. Diana listens, face growing darker. Finally, she says, I spent 5 years in a wheelchair because someone decided saving money was more important than proper construction. I sued. I won. But it didn't change anything. The same company is still building the same death traps, just with a different logo. She looks at Amara. If you have a chance to actually change the system, to save other mothers from what I went through, then you do it. You see it through, and I'll be right beside you. Mom, it's dangerous. Good thing I didn't raise a coward. Diana stands. Now, who do I need to yell at to get decent coffee in this place? Dr. Park hides a smile. I'll show you. After they leave, Amara looks at Sion Wu. Well, that happened. Your mother is terrifying. She gets that a lot. She's also right. About what she said. Amara's heart skips. About the coffee? About the other thing. Sion Wu reaches for her hand again. I don't know when it happened. Somewhere between you tearing up that settlement offer and you standing in a press conference defending me. But yes, I'm in love with you. Which is inconvenient timing, given everything. I love you too. He stops. You... What? I love you. I tried not to. You're stubborn and controlling and you have more emotional walls than the Korean DMZ, but you're also honest and brave and you're trying so hard to fix the things you broke. And when I'm with you, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Sion Wu stares at her like she just rewrote physics. Then he kisses her again. Deeper this time. Months of denial dissolving into certainty. When they break apart, both of them breathless, Amara says, We're doing this. Really doing this. Terribly inconvenient timing. The worst. Want to do it anyway? Absolutely. What neither of them knows is that in a high-rise across the city, Vice President Choi is watching surveillance footage of the hospital, watching them kiss, watching Diana Lewis arrive. And he's making calculations. If he can't reach Amara directly, he'll go through the people she loves. Starting with the CEO, who just became her greatest vulnerability. Morning breaks gray and cold. Sion Wu hasn't slept. He sat vigil beside Amara's bed all night, watching her finally rest without nightmares, her hand in his. At 7 a.m., Secretary Han arrives with coffee and grim news. Sir, we have a problem. The prosecutor's office has issued a warrant for all evidence related to the Kang infrastructure case. They're demanding Miss Lewis turn over any documents in her possession, claiming it's needed for the ongoing investigation. Sion Wu's eyes narrow. Choi got to them again. Likely. But it's a legal order. If Miss Lewis refuses, she could be held in contempt. Possibly deported. Amara stirs, waking. I heard that. And the answer is no. I'm not turning over anything to prosecutors who are compromised. Then you'll be arrested, Han says gently. Let them try. I'll upload everything to public servers before they get within a mile of me. That could compromise the legal case, make evidence inadmissible. Han, there isn't going to be a legal case. Not a fair one. Choi owns the prosecutors, probably half the judges. The only way we win is through public pressure so overwhelming they can't ignore it. Sion Wu nods slowly. She's right. We can't out-legal them. But we can out-truth them. You want to release everything publicly? Han looks between them. That's nuclear. It will destroy the company's reputation even beyond what's already damaged. The company's reputation is built on lies, Sion Wu says flatly. Let it burn. We'll rebuild from honest foundations. Han hesitates, then nods. I'll prepare a distribution strategy. Multiple platforms, international servers, backups in jurisdictions beyond Korean legal reach. If we're doing this, we do it right. How long? 48 hours to coordinate properly. We have 24, Amara says. After that, Choi will find another way to silence us. Then we work fast. The plan comes together with military precision. Han identifies 30 international journalists, 12 safety advocacy groups, 5 human rights organizations, coordinates simultaneous releases to prevent suppression. Dr. Park provides medical testimony about patterns of construction-related injuries she's treated over the years. Chairwoman Sun Hee goes on record, officially denouncing her own company's practices and calling for independent oversight. And Amara crafts the narrative, a comprehensive report detailing 36 projects, 47 violations, 12 deaths, and hundreds of injuries, all traced back to systematic corner cutting authorized by Vice President Choi. The final piece is Seon-woo's video testimony. He records it in the hospital room, Amara behind the camera. My name is Kang Seon-woo. I'm the CEO of Kang Infrastructure. And I'm here to admit what I should have said 6 years ago. My company has been sacrificing safety for profit, and I allowed it to happen. He doesn't read from notes, just speaks, raw and honest. I told myself I didn't know, that the settlements were just good business, that accidents were inevitable in construction. I lied to myself because the truth was unbearable, that people died because I was too weak to demand better. His voice cracks. But I'm done lying. The evidence being released alongside this video proves systematic negligence. It proves corruption. It proves that my own accident, the one that cost me the use of my legs, was caused by the same culture of cutting corners that I enabled. And I'm here to say, it ends now. I'm cooperating fully with all legitimate investigations. I'm voiding all NDAs. I'm offering resources to victims who want to pursue legal action. And I'm stepping down as CEO, effective immediately, to ensure this company can rebuild under leadership that values human life over profit. Amara's hand shakes on the camera. Seon-woo continues. If you're watching this, you probably know about Amara Lewis, the architect who saved my life and nearly died because of my company's negligence. She could have walked away, taken a settlement and gone home. Instead, she fought. She exposed us. She refused to let more people die in silence. And she taught me that real strength isn't control, it's accountability. So this is me being accountable. Whatever consequences come, I accept them. Because living with the lie was destroying me anyway. He looks directly at the camera, at Amara, and to the people trying to silence her. You failed. The truth is already out, and it's not going back in the box. The video ends. Amara lowers the camera. That was career suicide? Brave. She moves to sit beside him. Also possibly career suicide, but mostly brave. I meant every word. I know. They sit in silence for a moment. Then Seon-woo says, when this is over, when the investigations finish and the trials end and whatever happens, happens, I want to build something new, a firm that does accessibility-focused construction. Real accessibility, not performative. Partner with you. Create spaces that include everyone from the ground up. Amara's throat tightens. You want to go into business with me? I want to build a life with you. But I figured starting with business was less terrifying. She laughs despite everything. Nothing about you is less terrifying. Is that a yes? Ask me again when we're not in a hospital and being hunted by corporate assassins. Deal. The release is scheduled for 6 a.m. on Tuesday. Monday night, Amara can't sleep. She wheels herself to the hospital rooftop garden where she and Seon-woo first made their partnership. He finds her there, as she knew he would. Nervous? He asks. Terrified. You? Same. He parks beside her, both of them looking out over Seoul's lights. Last chance to back out. We could leave. Take your mother. Go somewhere Choi can't reach. Start over. And leave him to keep killing people? Just checking if you'd change your mind. Not a chance. Good. Because I don't actually want to run. They sit in comfortable silence until Amara says, do you think it'll work? All this, the evidence, the testimony, the public pressure, do you think it'll actually change anything? Honestly, I don't know. Korea has deep issues with corporate accountability. Chaebols have collapsed before and restructured without real consequences. Powerful people protect each other. He pauses. But I think we have something different this time. What? A face. A story. You. Surviving against all odds, refusing to be silenced. That's more powerful than statistics. It makes people care. He takes her hand. So yes, I think it'll work. Because you're the most stubborn person I've ever met, and I'm pretty sure you'll drag the entire country toward justice through sheer force of will. She smiles. Flatterer. Truth teller. Her phone buzzes. Text from Han. Everything's ready. Releases deploy in 7 hours. Are you sure? She types back. More sure than I've ever been about anything. And then she turns to Sion Woo. Whatever happens tomorrow, we face it together. Together. They kiss, gentle and lingering, the city lights stretching below them like a promise of what could be. At 5:55 a.m. Tuesday morning, Amara presses send on 30 simultaneous email distributions. By 6:02 a.m., the story breaks across every major Korean news outlet. By 6:15 a.m., it's international. And by 7 a.m., Vice President Choi's phone is ringing with calls from prosecutors, journalists, and, most damning, other victims who have been silent for years, suddenly finding their courage because one woman refused to be quiet. The empire is falling. The only question is who gets crushed when it lands. The fallout is immediate and catastrophic. Kang Infrastructure's stock plummets 67% in the first hour of trading. The board calls an emergency meeting. Protesters gather outside corporate headquarters. And at 10 a.m., Vice President Choi holds his own press conference. Amara watches from her hospital room, flanked by Sion Woo and her mother. Choi looks immaculate, expensive suit, perfectly composed. But there's something desperate in his eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to address the slanderous accusations circulating this morning. These claims are based on fabricated evidence provided by a foreign national with a history of extorting settlements from construction firms. He displays a photo of Amara. Miss Lewis entered Korea under false pretenses, posing as an accessibility consultant while planning to manufacture a crisis for financial gain. The so-called accident at the Hanam site was staged. She pushed Mr. Kang's wheelchair deliberately, then positioned herself under a pre-weakened beam. All to create a heroic narrative and extract millions. Amara's mouth falls open. He's insane. He's desperate, Sion Woo corrects, face dark, and dangerous. Choi continues, as for Mr. Kang's testimony, it pains me to say this, but our CEO is suffering from severe psychological trauma following his accident. He's been manipulated by Miss Lewis, convinced to destroy his own company. We have medical records documenting his instability. That's defamation, Diana snarls. Can't you sue? It's also a trap, Sion Woo says. If I sue, it ties up the case for years while he continues operations. He's trying to discredit us before the prosecutors can build a case. Choi fields questions, deflecting blame, painting himself as the victim. He's polished, convincing, and the media, some of them, are buying it. Until a reporter asks, Mr. Choi, can you explain the financial transfers from Kang Infrastructure to shell companies registered in your name? Choi's smile falters. Those were legitimate consulting fees. For $47 million? Our operations are complex. And can you explain why material specifications were changed on 17 projects after CEO Kang approved them, all resulting in cost savings that align with your bonuses? That's taken out of context. Another reporter. Is it true you pressured the prosecutor's office to arrest Mr. Kang on fabricated evidence? Absolutely not. I have no connection to... We have recordings of phone calls between you and Prosecutor Yoon. Would you like us to play them? The color drains from Choi's face. This press conference is over. He stands, flanked by lawyers, but the reporters don't stop. Mr. Choi, did you order the attack on Miss Lewis at the Jeju residence? Did you authorize materials that killed 7 workers at Gangnam Tower? Are you personally responsible for... Choi flees the podium. Cameras flash. The video will loop for days. In the hospital room, Amara releases a breath she didn't know she was holding. He's done, Sion Woo says quietly. That performance just guaranteed investigations will intensify. Diana squeezes her daughter's hand. You did it, baby. We did it, Amara corrects. She looks at Xianwu. What happens now? Now? He pulls out his phone. Now I do something I should have done 6 years ago. He dials, puts it on speaker. Seoul Metropolitan Police. How may I direct your call? I'd like to report multiple counts of corporate negligence, bribery, and attempted murder. My name is Kang Xianwu, CEO of Kang Infrastructure, and I'm prepared to provide full testimony against my vice president. The next 48 hours are a blur. Prosecutors descend on Kang Infrastructure. Search warrants executed. Computers seized. Employees interviewed. Choi is arrested at Incheon Airport trying to board a flight to Singapore. No extradition treaty. The board holds an emergency vote. Xianwu is reinstated as CEO, temporarily, to oversee the transition. He immediately implements new safety protocols, third-party inspections, and anonymous whistleblower protections. And Amara becomes the face of corporate accountability, interviewed by every outlet from CNN to BBC to Al Jazeera. Through it all, she and Xianwu remain inseparable, partners in the most literal sense. One evening, after a particularly grueling day of depositions, they're alone in his office. Seoul spreads below them, the city they're trying to remake. I've been thinking about your offer, Amara says. The accessibility firm. And? I want in, but with conditions. Name them. First, we don't just build accessible spaces. We hire disabled workers as lead designers, people who live the experience daily. Second, we publish all our research publicly. No patents, no trade secrets. If we develop better solutions, everyone should benefit. Third, we partner with advocacy groups, not just corporations. Build social housing, public infrastructure. Things that matter. Xianwu listens, smile growing. Anything else? Fourth, I'm a full partner. Equal ownership, equal decision-making. No silent investor nonsense where you maintain control. Done. Just like that. Just like that. He wheels closer. I told you. I want to build a life with you. That means actually sharing it. This is really happening. Apparently. We're going to design buildings together. Among other things. Like what? He pulls her down for a kiss. Like making sure you never doubt that choosing to stay in Seoul was the right decision. She laughs against his mouth. Ambitious. I'm a CEO. Ambition is in the job description. When they finally leave the office at midnight, hand in hand, neither notices the photographer across the street. By morning, the photo, young architect and reformed CEO, silhouetted against Seoul's skyline, will be everywhere. Some will call it inspirational, others will call it propaganda. But for Amara and Xianwu, it's just the truth. Two broken people who found each other in the rubble and decided to rebuild something better. The trial begins 3 months later. Vice President Choi faces 47 counts: negligent homicide, bribery, evidence tampering, attempted murder. The prosecution's case is airtight. Emails, financial records, testimonies from engineers he pressured. But Choi's defense team is expensive and ruthless. They attack Amara's credibility. Claim she seduced Xianwu to manipulate the case. Display photos of them together, imply impropriety. Suggest her injuries were exaggerated for sympathy. It's brutal. Amara sits in the witness box, cane resting beside her, and refuses to break. Miss Lewis, the defense attorney asks, isn't it true you entered into a romantic relationship with Mr. Kang to influence his testimony? No. I entered into a relationship with a man I respect and admire. The timeline is public record. Our relationship began months after we started working together. But you admit the relationship creates bias? I admit I care about someone who's trying to do the right thing. If that's bias, I'll wear it proudly. You've profited from this situation. Book deals, speaking fees. I've donated every cent to organizations supporting construction workers and their families. Would you like receipts? The attorney flounders. No further questions. When Amara steps down, Sion-woo is waiting in the hallway. "You were magnificent," he murmurs. "I was terrified. Didn't show." They're interrupted by a court officer. "Mr. Kang, you're needed. The judge wants to discuss settlement negotiations." Sion-woo frowns. "Settlement?" "Choi's team is proposing a plea deal. The prosecution wants your input." They reconvene in a conference room. Prosecutor Yoon, cleaned up after his own investigation, presents the offer. "Mr. Choi will plead guilty to negligence charges in exchange for reduced sentencing. 7 years instead of 20. And he'll forfeit his assets to a victim compensation fund." "No," Sion-woo says immediately. "Mr. Kang, this guarantees convictions. Going to trial risks. I don't care. 7 years for 7 deaths? For dozens of injuries? For trying to murder Amara?" His voice is ice. "No deal. Let the jury decide." Amara touches his arm. "Are you sure? A trial could drag on for years." "I'm sure." These families deserve full accountability, not a negotiated compromise. The prosecutor sighs. "Very well. We proceed to trial." The trial lasts 8 weeks. Testimony from engineers who were pressured, financial experts detailing fraud, families of victims, tearfully recounting losses. And finally, Sion-woo himself. He sits in the witness box, composed but emotional, and lays it all bare. "I failed as a leader. I prioritized profit and efficiency over human life. And when people died because of those choices, I hid behind lawyers and settlements instead of demanding better. I'm not innocent. But neither is Mr. Choi. He systematically undermined safety, and when someone tried to expose him, he tried to kill her." The defense attorney stands. "Mr. Kang, isn't it convenient that you've become a whistleblower only after falling in love with Miss Lewis? My timing was terrible. I should have acted years ago. But the reason I'm here now isn't love. It's guilt. Guilt for every person hurt because I was too cowardly to fight my own board. And yes, Amara helped me find that courage. I'm not ashamed of that. So you admit she influenced you? She influenced me to be a better man, to stop accepting the unacceptable. If that makes me compromised, then I'm compromised." When Sion-woo finishes, the courtroom is silent. The jury deliberates for 3 days. When they return, the verdict is unanimous, guilty on all counts. Choi shows no emotion as the judge sentences him to 18 years in prison and orders restitution of $90 million to victims. Outside the courthouse, media swarms. Amara stands beside Sion-woo, facing the cameras. "Justice isn't a moment," she says. "It's a process. Today was one step. But the real work is ahead. Rebuilding systems that failed, supporting survivors, and making sure this never happens again. We're committed to that work, for however long it takes." A reporter shouts, "Miss Lewis, will you stay in Korea?" She looks at Sion-woo. "Yes, this is home now." That night, they celebrate quietly. Just Amara, Sion-woo, Diana, Dr. Park, Secretary Han, and Chairwoman Sun-hee. A private room at a traditional Korean restaurant, the kind that values discretion over spectacle. Diana raises her glass. "To my daughter, who's more stubborn than I ever gave her credit for." "To truth-tellers," Dr. Park adds quietly, "who refuse to let the dead be forgotten." "To new beginnings," Sun-hee says, looking at her grandson with something like pride. "Built on honest foundations." They drink, the tension of months finally easing. But Amara's phone buzzes. Unknown number. She almost ignores it, but something makes her check. Text message. "Congratulations on your victory. Enjoy it while it lasts. Choi had partners you never found. We're still here. And we're patient." A friend. Her blood runs cold. She shows Sion-woo. His jaw tightens. It could be a bluff. Someone trying to scare us. Or it could be real. Amara's mind races. Choi couldn't have done all of this alone. The bribes, the falsified documents, the network of suppliers that takes infrastructure, people. What if we only cut off the head? Then we find the rest of the body and eliminate it too, Han says. leaning over to read the message. Sir, with your permission, I'd like to coordinate with the prosecution. Cross-reference Choi's communications, financial records. If there are other actors, they'll have left traces. Do it, Sion Wu says. I'm not letting shadows destroy what we've built. Diana sets down her glass. You two attract danger like magnets. Mom, I'm not complaining. Just stating facts. She smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. Be careful, both of you. The celebration continues, but the mood has shifted. They all feel it, the sense that victory is fragile, incomplete. When they leave the restaurant, Sion Wu insists on accompanying Amara and Diana back to their apartment. Security follows at a discreet distance. You don't have to do this every night, Amara says as they pull up to the building. Yes, I do. He takes her hand. Until we know who sent that message and neutralize them, I'm not taking chances. Sion Wu, you can't protect me every second. Watch me try. She wants to argue. But the truth is, she's grateful. The threat feels real, tangible. And she's exhausted from months of fighting. Stay, she says impulsively. Tonight. Just stay. He searches her face. Are you sure? Very sure. Diana, already halfway to the elevator, calls back. I'll take the guest room. Don't keep me up with your strategizing. Amara flushes. Mom! But Diana just laughs and disappears into the building. Inside the apartment, Amara makes tea while Sion Wu checks the locks, the windows, the security system. His nightly ritual. Do you ever stop being vigilant? She asks. No, it's how I survived 6 years without falling apart completely. That sounds exhausting. It is. He accepts the tea, their fingers brushing. But less so when I'm with you. They settle on the couch, comfortable silence wrapping around them. Finally, Amara says, what if we can't find them? Choi's partners. What if they stay hidden and just wait? Then we keep building anyway. Keep creating transparency. Keep making it harder for corruption to hide. He sets down his tea. Amara, I can't promise you safety. I wish I could. But I can promise you this. Whatever comes, we face it together. No more secrets. No more hiding. Just partnership. Equal partners. Always. She leans into him, feeling the steady rhythm of his breathing. I love you. I don't think I say it enough. You show it every day, in how you fight, how you refuse to compromise your principles, how you push me to be better. He kisses the top of her head. I love you too, more than I have words for. They stay like that for a long time, drawing strength from each other's presence. At 3:47 a.m., Sion Wu wakes to the sound of glass breaking, not in the apartment, outside, somewhere below. He's instantly alert, reaching for his phone. Amara stirs beside him. What? Stay here. He wheels to the window, carefully pulling back the curtain. In the street below, Amara's car is on fire. Flames licking up from the engine, black smoke billowing. Call the fire department, he says, voice tight. And security, now. Amara scrambles for her phone. What's happening? Someone just sent another message. By the time firefighters arrive, the car is a blackened shell. No one was hurt. It was parked, empty. But the intent is clear. The lead investigator examines the wreckage. Incendiary device. Professional work. This wasn't random vandalism. Sion Wu's hands clench on his armrests. Can you trace it? We'll try. But whoever did this knew what they were doing. Back in the apartment, Amara sits wrapped in a blanket, watching dawn break over Seoul. Diana paces, furious and frightened. That's it, Diana says. We're leaving, all of us, today. I don't care about the trial or justice or any of it. My daughter's life is more important. Mom, we can't run every time. This isn't every time. This is the second attempt on your life in 3 months. Diana's voice cracks. Baby, I'm proud of what you've done, but I can't lose you. I can't. Amara's eyes fill. I know, I'm scared too. Then come home, please. Xianwu has been silent, but now he speaks. She's right. Amara's head snaps up. What? Your mother is right. Staying here puts you in constant danger. And I can't... He stops, composing himself. I can't live knowing I'm the reason you're at risk. You're not the reason. The people doing this are. Semantics. The threat exists because of your association with me. If you leave, if you go back to the States, they have no reason to target you. You're trying to push me away. I'm trying to keep you alive. By sacrificing everything we've worked for, everything we've built together. Amara's voice rises. Xianwu, I didn't stay in Korea because I'm reckless. I stayed because this matters. Because what we're doing will save lives. Because I choose to be here. With you. Even if it kills you? Even then. She wheels closer, forcing him to meet her eyes. I know you're terrified. I am too. But we don't get to build something better by running away the moment it gets hard. We fight. We adapt. We find these people and expose them like we did Choi. That's how we win. And if we don't, if they get to you before we find them, then I will have died fighting for something I believe in, which is more than most people can say. Diana makes a choked sound. Don't talk like that. Mom, I love you, but I'm not leaving. This is my choice, my fight, and I need you to trust that I know what I'm doing. Mother and daughter stare at each other. Then Diana closes her eyes, defeated. You're so much like your father. Stubborn and righteous and completely impossible. She pulls Amara into a fierce hug. Fine, we stay. But you're getting a bodyguard. A good one. Non-negotiable. Deal. Xianwu watches them, something breaking and healing simultaneously in his chest. I'll arrange the best security available. Former special forces. They'll shadow you both. What about you? Amara asks. I've had security for years, but I'll upgrade. He reaches for her hand. I'm sorry for trying to make decisions for you. I know, but we're partners. That means trusting me to assess my own risks. I'm working on it. Work faster. Despite everything, he smiles. Yes, ma'am. By noon, Han has coordinated a security detail. 4 former military personnel, rotating shifts, armed and trained in close protection. By evening, investigators have traced the incendiary device to a supply chain linked to one of Choi's former contractors. And by midnight, they have a name. Kim Jae-won, a logistics coordinator who profited from the material substitutions. He's been operating in the shadows for years, but not anymore. Because Amara and Xianwu are done letting anyone hide. The hunt is on. Kim Jae-won is arrested 72 hours after the car bombing. He doesn't go quietly. Police storm his Gangnam apartment and find evidence of a much larger network. Offshore accounts, encrypted communications, connections to politicians and prosecutors. The scandal explodes all over again. This goes deeper than we thought, Han tells Amara and Xianwu in an emergency meeting. Kim wasn't just a contractor. He was a facilitator. He connected corrupt officials with construction firms across Korea. Kang Infrastructure was one client among dozens. How many projects are compromised? Xianwu asks. Hundreds, maybe thousands, across multiple companies. Han's expression is grim. This is industry-wide systemic corruption. Amara leans back in her chair. Then we expose all of it. That will collapse the entire construction sector. Good. Let it collapse. Then rebuild it properly. Miss Lewis, with respect, the economic consequences are less important than human lives. She looks at Xianwu. Back me up here. He's quiet for a moment, weighing consequences. Then, she's right. We've already committed to transparency. We can't stop halfway because it's inconvenient. The government will resist. They'll claim national economic security. Then we take it international. UN investigators, global media, international safety organizations make it too big to suppress. Xianwu's voice is steel. If Korea won't clean its own house, we'll invite the world to do it. Han nods slowly. I'll make the contacts. The investigation expands rapidly. More arrests, more evidence. Companies scrambling to cover tracks or cooperate, depending on how deeply they're implicated. Kang Infrastructure, having already begun reforms, becomes the model for what cooperation looks like. Xian Wu testifies before parliamentary committees, opens all records to auditors, invites victims' families to tour facilities and review safety protocols. It's brutal. Stock prices remain depressed. Competitors circle, trying to poach contracts and personnel. But slowly, painfully, trust begins to rebuild. Amara works alongside him, redesigning projects from the ground up. Not just ramps and elevators, entire philosophies of who buildings serve and why. One afternoon, they're touring a renovation site when a worker approaches hesitantly. "Mr. Kang, I wanted to say thank you for speaking up. My brother died at Gangnam Tower. For years I thought it was just bad luck. Knowing the truth, knowing someone's being held accountable, it matters. So thank you." Xian Wu's throat tightens. "I'm sorry we didn't act sooner. I'm sorry your brother paid for our failures. But you're acting now? That's something." After the worker leaves, Xian Wu is quiet for a long time. Amara takes his hand. "You okay?" "I will be. Eventually." He looks at the construction site. Workers in proper harnesses, quality materials, inspections happening in real time. This is what it should have always been. It is now. Because of you. Because of us. 6 months after Choi's conviction, the trial of Kim Jae-won begins. This one is faster. He's already confessed, looking for leniency. The evidence is overwhelming. But during sentencing, the judge makes an unexpected announcement. The court recognizes that Mr. Kim's crimes were enabled by systemic failures across multiple institutions. Therefore, in addition to his sentence, the court is recommending a comprehensive review of construction safety regulations, enforcement mechanisms, and corporate accountability standards in the Republic of Korea. It's unprecedented, a judicial mandate for reform. Outside the courthouse, Amara faces the cameras one more time. This isn't about one company or one criminal. It's about a culture that prioritized speed and profit over human dignity. Today's recommendation is a first step toward changing that culture. But it's only a first step. Real change requires sustained effort, public vigilance, and the courage to demand better. We can't stop now. A reporter asks, "Miss Lewis, you've become a symbol of corporate accountability. What's next for you?" She glances at Xian Wu, who's waiting just off camera. "We're launching a new firm, Kang Lewis Accessibility Design. Our mission is to prove that inclusive architecture isn't just ethical. It's profitable, beautiful, and essential. We'll be hiring our first team next month. And personally, will you marry Mr. Kang?" Amara laughs. "That's between us. But I will say, we're committed to building a future together, in every sense." That evening, Xian Wu takes Amara to a rooftop garden. Not the hospital's, but a new one. One they designed together, overlooking the Han River. It's their first completed project. A public space, fully accessible, free to everyone. Trees and flowers and winding paths with perfect gradients. Benches at multiple heights. Tactile navigation for the blind. Open sightlines for wheelchair users. "It's beautiful," Amara whispers. "It's ours." Xian Wu wheels to the center of the garden, where a plaque has been installed. She reads it aloud. "This garden is dedicated to all who were harmed by negligence, and to those who fight for a world where no one is invisible. May this space welcome everyone, always." Her eyes fill. "There's something else," Xian Wu says. He pulls a small box from his pocket, opens it. Inside, a simple platinum band with a single diamond. "Amara Lewis, you saved my life twice. Once when you pushed my wheelchair, and once when you refused to let me hide from the truth. I don't have a grand speech prepared. I just know that every future I imagine includes you. So will you marry me?" She's crying now, nodding before he finishes the question. "Yes. Absolutely yes." He slips the ring onto her finger, They kiss, the city lights reflecting off the river below, the garden they built together surrounding them. "We're really doing this," she says. "Building a life, a company, a future. Terrifying, isn't it? The best things are." He smiles. "Want to do it anyway? With you? Always." They stay in the garden until stars appear above Soul's glow, two people who found each other in the wreckage and chose to rebuild something extraordinary. The threats haven't vanished. The work isn't finished. But for the first time in years, both of them feel something they'd almost forgotten. Hope. Real, tangible, earned through blood and courage and refusing to look away. And that hope is the foundation for everything that comes next. The wedding is 6 months away. They want something intimate. Family, close friends, the people who stood with them through the chaos. But even planning that becomes complicated when you're public figures in an ongoing national scandal. "Security concerns," Han says, reviewing the venue options. "Any public location risks protests or worse. I recommend the Jeju residence." "Private ceremony it is," Amara agrees. She's learned to choose her battles, but not every battle can be avoided. 2 weeks before Christmas, a new crisis emerges. One of Kang Infrastructure's older projects, a residential tower completed 4 years ago, is showing structural issues. Cracks in the foundation, water damage, signs of potential instability. An engineering firm conducts an emergency assessment. The report is devastating. The building needs to be evacuated immediately, the lead engineer tells Seon Woo, and likely demolished. The foundation was poured with substandard concrete. It's compromised beyond repair. How many units? 240, nearly 800 residents. Seon Woo closes his eyes. How did this get through inspections? It was built during the Choi era, before reforms. Of course it was. What's our legal exposure? Seon Woo asks Han. Catastrophic. Even though this predates the reforms, we're still liable. Resident relocation, refunds, demolition costs. We're looking at $200 million minimum. That will bankrupt the company. Yes, sir. Silence settles over the room. Amara speaks quietly. What happens to the residents if the company goes bankrupt? They'd have to pursue compensation through courts. Could take years. Meanwhile, they're homeless. That's not acceptable. She looks at Seon Woo. We have to take care of them. All of them. Immediately. Amara, if we pay for full relocation and compensation, there won't be a company left to run. Then there isn't a company. But those families don't suffer for decisions they didn't make. This isn't that simple. It's exactly that simple. Her voice rises. These people bought homes in good faith. They trusted that your company built something safe. It doesn't matter that Choi was responsible. The Kang name is on the building. We fix it. Han interjects carefully. Miss Lewis, I understand the moral argument. But if Kang Infrastructure collapses, it affects more than this project. There are current employees, active contracts, other buildings that need maintenance and oversight. Bankrupting the company to save 200 families could harm thousands more. Then we find a third option. Amara turns to Seon Woo. There has to be a way to do both. He's quiet, thinking. Finally, what if we restructure? Sell the development division. Keep only the accessibility design arm. Use the proceeds to compensate residents and establish a permanent oversight fund for older buildings. That's giving up half the company, Han says. It's choosing what kind of company we want to be. Seon Woo looks at Amara. You were right from the beginning. We can't build futures on broken foundations. So we let go of the parts that are compromised, and we focus on what we can do with integrity. Your grandmother will have thoughts on this. Let her. This is my company now. My decision. Seon Woo presents the proposal to Chairwoman Sun Hee that evening. She listens without interruption, face unreadable. When he finishes, she says, You're willing to sacrifice half your inheritance to protect people you've never met. Yes, ma'am. Your grandfather built that development division over 30 years. And it's been corrupt for at least a decade. I won't perpetuate that legacy. Sun Hee studies him. Then, unexpectedly, she smiles. Your grandfather would be proud, not of the company he built. That was tainted, but of the man you're becoming. You agree? I agree. Sell the development division, compensate the residents, rebuild around the accessibility firm. She pauses. And I'll match your compensation fund from my personal assets. Those families shouldn't bear the cost of our mistakes. Sion-woo's eyes widen. Grandmother, that's necessary and overdue. I enabled this rot as much as anyone. Time I did something about it. When Sion-woo tells Amara, she cries. Your grandmother just committed millions to people she doesn't know. She learned from the best. He takes Amara's hand. You changed all of us, showed us what accountability actually looks like. I just refuse to accept that money matters more than people, which is revolutionary in this industry. They sit together, processing the magnitude of what's ahead. Restructuring, layoffs, selling divisions, starting over. Are you scared? Amara asks. Terrified, but also relieved. Like I'm finally building something I can be proud of. Good. Because I can't marry someone who cuts corners. He laughs. Noted. The announcement goes public 2 days later. Kang Infrastructure is restructuring. The development division will be sold to a competitor with strong safety records. All proceeds will fund resident relocation, compensation, and a permanent building safety oversight fund. The company will refocus exclusively on accessibility-centered design and construction. Stock prices initially plummet further. Then something unexpected happens. Investors who care about ethical business start buying. Slowly at first, then in larger volumes. Within a week, the stock stabilizes at a lower but sustainable level, and the residents of the compromised building send a letter, signed by all 800. To Mr. Kang and Miss Lewis, thank you for choosing us over profits. You could have fought this in court, delayed for years, maybe avoided responsibility. Instead, you acted immediately and took care of our families. This is what leadership looks like. We will remember. Amara reads it aloud to Sion-woo, both of them emotional. We made the right choice, she says. We did, but it still hurts. The right thing usually does. Christmas arrives quietly. Amara, Sion-woo, Diana, and a handful of close friends gather at the Jeju residence. No media, no obligations, just people who care about each other, celebrating survival. Dr. Park brings homemade kimchi. Han brings an absurdly expensive bottle of whiskey. Sun-hee arrives with a photo album, pictures of Sion-woo as a child, before the weight of empire settled on his shoulders. They eat, drink, laugh, tell stories. For a few hours, the outside world doesn't exist. Late in the evening, Amara and Sion-woo slip away to the garden. Next time we're here, we'll be married, she says. Nervous? No. You? Not about marrying you. About everything else, yes, but not that. She leans against him, comfortable. We've built something good. The company, the foundation, this life. Whatever comes next, we'll handle it. Together. Always together. They watch the ocean. Waves crashing against cliffs, the sound eternal and grounding. Sion-woo's phone buzzes. He checks it, frowns. What? Message from the prosecutor's office. They found another partner in Choi's network. Someone inside the government. Ministry of Construction. Amara's stomach sinks. How high up? Deputy Minister. So it really was systemic, all the way to the top. Looks like it. He pockets the phone. But that's tomorrow's problem. Tonight we rest. Can we afford to rest? We have to, or we'll burn out before the work is done. He kisses her forehead. Besides, I promised your mother I'd teach her to make proper Korean tea tomorrow morning. Apparently, she's decided to become an expert. Amara laughs despite everything. She's really settling in here. Is that okay? Her staying? It's perfect. I have everyone I love in one place, doing work that matters, building something lasting. She looks up at him. 6 months ago, I was just a consultant trying to survive in a foreign city. Now I'm home. Seoul is home. No. She touches his face. You're home. Wherever you are, that's home. He pulls her close, and they stand there as the year draws to a close. Two people who found each other in the worst circumstances and chose to create something beautiful from the rubble. Inside the house, Diana watches through the window and smiles. Her daughter, stubborn, brilliant, impossible, found someone who matches her strength for strength. Sunhee joins her, following her gaze. They'll be good for each other, the older woman says. And good for this country. Diana nods. They already are. And in that moment, both mothers understand what their children have accomplished. Not just justice or reform or corporate accountability, but the harder, quieter work of building love in the middle of chaos. And that, more than anything, is worth celebrating. The new year brings fresh challenges. The deputy minister is arrested, triggering a political earthquake. Parliamentary hearings are announced. International media descends on Seoul. And Kang Lewis accessibility design, barely 3 months old, is suddenly thrust into the spotlight as an example of corporate reform. We have 47 interview requests, Han reports, plus invitations to speak at 6 international conferences on business ethics. Amara looks at Seon-woo. This is overwhelming. We can decline. No, we need to do this. If we want systemic change, we have to show what success looks like. She takes a breath. But we do it our way. No more performing for cameras. We bring clients, show actual projects, let the work speak. Agreed. They spend the next month traveling, Seoul, New York, London, Berlin, speaking to architects, engineers, policymakers, activists, showing blueprints, cost analyses, accessibility audits. At every stop, the same question. How do you balance profit and ethics? And every time, Amara gives the same answer. We don't balance them. We insist that ethics is what makes profit sustainable. Short-term gains from cutting corners always collapse eventually. We're building for the long term. The response is mixed. Some embrace the model. Others dismiss it as naive idealism that won't scale. But slowly, momentum builds. Contracts start coming in. Municipal governments, universities, private developers who want to be associated with ethical construction. Not everyone, but enough. One evening in their hotel room in Berlin, exhausted after another conference, Seon-woo says, I never thought I'd be a spokesman for corporate responsibility. Life is strange that way. Do you ever regret it? Staying in Korea, fighting this fight, tying yourself to someone as damaged as me? Amara sets down her laptop. Do I look like someone with regrets? You look tired. So do you. But that's not the same thing. She wheels over to him. Seon-woo, I chose this. All of it. The work, the danger, the exhaustion, you. I chose it because it matters. Because we're actually changing things. Because waking up next to you every morning is the best decision I've ever made. So no, 0 regrets. Even when I'm controlling and stubborn. Especially then. Keeps me sharp. He smiles. What did I do to deserve you? You let me save your life. Twice. That's a good start. They laugh, the tension breaking. The wedding is 8 weeks away. They should be focused on planning, but there's too much work. Eventually, they compromise, elope in 3 weeks, have the larger celebration later when things calm down. If they ever calm down, Amara mutters. They will. Eventually. Probably. Maybe. You're so reassuring. It's a gift. The elopement happens on a rainy Tuesday in Seoul. Just them, an officiant, Han and Diana as witnesses. A small office in City Hall, fluorescent lights and industrial carpet. It's perfect. Amara wears a simple cream dress. Seon-woo wears a dark suit. No flowers, no fanfare. Just 2 people making promises. I, Kang Seon-woo, take you, Amara Lewis, as my partner in life and work. I promise to trust you, listen to you, and build with you. To never hide behind control when what you need is honesty. To stand beside you, not in front of you. To love you in all your impossible, stubborn, brilliant glory. For as long as we both live. Amara's voice shakes slightly. I, Amara Lewis, take you, Kang Seon-woo, as my partner in life and work. I promise to challenge you, support you, and never let you settle for less than you're capable of. To share your burdens and celebrate your victories. To love you not despite your scars, but because they're proof you survived and chose to become better. For as long as we both live. They exchange rings, matching platinum bands, simple and enduring. By the authority vested in me, I now pronounce you married. You may kiss. They do. Gentle, certain, full of promise. Diana cries. Han discreetly wipes his eyes. Afterward, they go to a nearby restaurant, a favorite spot of Seon-woo's, family-owned, with the best galbi in Seoul. The owner recognizes them, beams, insists on bringing out special dishes. Congratulations. I watched everything on television. What you did, exposing the corruption. My nephew works construction. Safer now because of you. Seon-woo bows. Thank you. But it was a team effort. Still, you made a difference. The owner sets down a bottle of soju. On the house, for the newlyweds. They drink, eat, talk about everything except work. What do you want our life to look like? Amara asks. 5 years from now. Seon-woo considers. I want the firm to be stable. Maybe 50 employees, doing consistent good work. I want to have designed at least 3 major public projects that actually serve communities. I want to wake up without nightmares. He pauses. And I want a family. If you want that too. Kids? Maybe, or fostering, or mentoring young architects, something that invests in the future. He looks at her. What do you want? Everything you just said, plus a house with a proper garden, and a dog. Definitely a dog. What kind of dog? A rescue. Big, scruffy, completely impractical. Naturally. They clink glasses, toasting to impossible futures that suddenly feel possible. The honeymoon is 3 days in Jeju. No phones, no internet, no obligations. Just each other. They walk the beaches, explore the island, eat fresh seafood. Amara's leg still aches sometimes, but it's manageable. Part of her now, not a limitation but a reminder. One afternoon, sitting on the residence deck, Seon-woo says, I need to tell you something. Amara tenses. That sounds ominous. Not ominous, just overdue. He takes her hand. When I first saw you, at the construction site, right before the accident, I thought you looked out of place. Like you didn't belong in this loud, chaotic, masculine space. And then you ran at me, screaming, and pushed my chair, and I realized you belonged exactly where you were. You just refused to accept the world as it was presented. Is there a point to this story? The point is, thank you. For refusing to accept things. For demanding better. For saving my life in every way a person can be saved. His voice thickens. I was already dead before that beam fell. Just going through motions. Hiding behind corporate armor, pretending I hadn't lost myself years ago. And then, you appeared and dragged me back into the light, even when I fought you every step of the way. Amara's eyes fill. You saved me too. Gave me a purpose bigger than anger. Showed me what partnership actually looks like. So we're even? Not even close. But we have time to figure it out. They sit in companionable silence, watching the sun set over the ocean. I have something for you, Seon-woo says. He pulls out a folder. Our first project brief. Came in yesterday. You said no phones. Han slipped it to me before we left. I couldn't resist looking. He grins. It's a commission from the city of Seoul. They want us to redesign 3 subway stations with full accessibility integration. Budget is substantial. Timeline is flexible. It's exactly the kind of project we dreamed about. Amara takes the folder, scanning the details. This is incredible. It's a start. Proof that doing things right can actually win contracts. When do they need our response? We have 2 weeks. Then let's get started, after the honeymoon. After the honeymoon. He agrees. But that night, as they sleep, neither knows that across the ocean, in a secure facility, Vice President Choi sits with his lawyer. "I'll give them everything," Choi says. "Names, evidence, the entire network. But in exchange, I want reduced sentencing. And I want immunity for testimony against the deputy minister." The lawyer nods. "I'll make the arrangements." What Choi doesn't say, what he's carefully not saying, is that the network goes higher than the deputy minister. Far higher. And when those dominoes start falling, even Kang Seon-woo's reforms won't be enough protection. The real reckoning is still coming, and it's going to test everything Amara and Seon-woo have built. Dice a note. This chapter title references an earlier established moment, but I'll interpret it creatively since they're now married. This chapter serves as a transitional beat, showing the personal amidst the continuing professional political chaos. They return from Jeju to chaos. Choi's cooperation agreement has gone public. Names are being named. The scandal has consumed the entire construction industry. And prominently featured in Choi's testimony, allegations that Chairwoman Kang Sun-hee knew about the material substitutions and approved them to maintain profit margins during a recession 15 years ago. "It's a lie," Sun-hee says when they meet in her office, but her voice lacks its usual steel. "I never approved. I didn't know the specifics." "Grandmother." Seon-woo's voice is gentle. "Did you know something was wrong? Even if you didn't know details?" Silence. Then, quietly, "I suspected. Your grandfather was cutting costs aggressively. I saw the budget reports. The margins didn't make sense unless... But I told myself he knew what he was doing, that I didn't understand the technical side." She looks up, eyes bright with unshed tears. "I failed, just like you did, just like we all did." Amara speaks carefully. "What matters now is what you do next." "What can I do? I'm a retired chairwoman with no proof of innocence." "You cooperate. Testify honestly. Admit what you knew and when. Show that you've changed." Amara leans forward. "Your grandson did it. You can too." Sun-hee looks at Seon-woo. "You think I should confess?" "I think you should tell the truth, whatever that is, and accept the consequences." His voice softens. "It's terrifying, but it's also the only way forward." The older woman is silent for a long time. Then she nods. "I'll call my lawyer." The media frenzy intensifies. Kang Lewis Design is caught in the crossfire. Some praise their transparency. Others suggest they're complicit by association. Contracts are put on hold pending investigations. Amara and Seon-woo spend 18-hour days managing crisis communications, reassuring clients, supporting employees who are terrified of losing jobs. One night, after a particularly brutal meeting with lawyers, they retreat to the one place in the building where they can breathe: the emergency stairwell. It's not romantic. Bare concrete, fluorescent lights, the smell of cleaning chemicals. But it's private. Seon-woo leans against the wall, exhausted. "This isn't what I imagined married life would be." "What did you imagine?" "I don't know. Quiet dinners, morning coffee, not this. This is our life. Complicated, messy, never boring. I wanted to give you better." Amara wheels closer, taking his hands. "You gave me partnership, purpose, a fight worth fighting. That's better than easy ever could be. But you deserve easy too." "Maybe, but I chose difficult with you over easy with anyone else. Every single time." He pulls her into his lap, an awkward maneuver given 2 wheelchairs, but they've gotten practiced at it. She wraps her arms around his neck. "I love you," he murmurs against her hair. "Even when everything is falling apart. Especially when everything is falling apart." She kisses him, slow and deep, the kind of kiss that says we're in this together no matter what. The stairwell door opens. Secretary Han stops dead. Forgive me. I was looking for... He retreats rapidly. They break apart, laughing. "We really need better hiding spots," Amara says. "Or offices with locks. Revolutionary concept." They compose themselves and return to the war room, where Han is studiously avoiding eye contact. "Sir, ma'am, the prosecutor wants to schedule interviews with both of you." They're investigating whether Kang Lewis design has any connection to the historical corruption. We don't, Amara says. We didn't even exist during that period. They know, but they need to confirm for the record. It's standard procedure. When? Tomorrow, if possible. Xianwu sighs. Fine. Schedule it. The interviews are thorough but professional. Amara explains how she discovered the violations, her decision to report them, her cooperation with investigations. The prosecutor asks pointed questions about her relationship with Xianwu, clearly trying to establish if there's bias or collusion. My relationship with my husband doesn't change the facts, she says firmly. The metallurgical reports, the financial records, the falsified inspections, those exist independent of my feelings. I reported what I found. That's all. They seem satisfied. Xianwu's interview is harder. They press him about what he knew and when, whether he profited from the corruption, why he didn't act sooner. I failed, he says simply. I knew something was wrong and I didn't investigate thoroughly. I'm guilty of willful ignorance, which is a form of complicity. I'm not here to excuse that. I'm here to provide testimony so the people actually responsible face consequences. But you benefited financially from the corruption. Yes. And I've committed those funds to victim compensation and oversight programs. It doesn't erase the harm, but it's the best reparation I can offer. The prosecutor makes notes. Mr. Kang, are you aware that your grandmother has agreed to testify against former board members? I am. How do you feel about that? Proud of her. It takes courage to admit failure, especially at her age and position. You're not concerned about protecting family legacy? The legacy I care about is the one we're building now. Honest work, accountability, safety. Everything else can burn. After the interviews, they reconvene at home, a modest apartment in Gangnam, accessible and comfortable. Diana has made dinner, an awkward fusion of American and Korean dishes that somehow works. How'd it go? She asks. Exhausting but fine, Amara says. I think they believe us. Of course they do. You're the most honest people I know. Inconveniently honest. They eat, the conversation drifting to safer topics. Diana's Korean language classes, the dog they're considering adopting, plans for the larger wedding celebration once the investigations conclude. Have you set a date for that? Diana asks. Not yet, Xianwu says. Feels premature when we might still be dealing with legal fallout. Or, Amara counters, we set a date and give ourselves something to look forward to. Something that isn't testimony and investigations. June? Xianwu suggests. June works. Garden ceremony. Small, but lovely. I'll start planning, Diana says, already making lists. That night, lying in bed, Amara says, Do you think we'll ever have a normal life? Define normal. I don't know. Boring? Predictable? God, I hope not. Xianwu pulls her close. I think our life will always be complicated, but complicated with you is still the best option I can imagine. Sweet talker. Truth teller. She falls asleep in his arms, and for the first time in weeks, neither of them has nightmares. But while they sleep, the prosecutors are working through Choi's testimony, and they've found something that changes everything. Evidence that the corruption wasn't limited to construction. It extended to the government officials who approved city planning, the banks that financed projects, even the media that suppressed negative coverage. The scandal is about to consume the entire Seoul establishment. And when it does, even Amara and Xianwu's carefully built credibility might not be enough to protect them from the blast radius. The real test is coming, and it's going to demand more than they ever thought they'd have to give. The indictments come down like an avalanche. 47 people charged, from corporate executives to government ministers to bank executives. The prosecution calls it the largest corporate corruption case in Korean history. And at the center, testimony from Amara Lewis and Kang Xianwu. You'll be cross-examined by 12 different defense teams, their attorney warns. They'll try to discredit you, suggest bias, imply you're scapegoating to protect yourselves. It will be brutal. We've been through brutal before, Amara says. Not like this, This is televised, national audience. Every word you say will be analyzed, weaponized. Xianwu squeezes her hand. We tell the truth. That's all we can do. The trial begins on a cold March morning. The courtroom is packed. Journalists, victims' families, defendants in expensive suits flanked by legal teams. The judges enter, 3 of them, appointed specifically for this case. Amara is called first. She wheels to the witness stand, right hand raised, and swears to tell the truth. The prosecution leads with softballs, establishing her credentials, her work in Korea, the accident that injured her. Then they move to the evidence. Miss Lewis, can you describe what you discovered at the Hannam Cultural Center site? She walks them through it. The material discrepancies, the falsified inspections, the pattern of violations. Shows photos, documents, metallurgical reports. The courtroom is silent. Then the defense teams take over. The first attorney stands. Middle-aged, sharp suit, predatory smile. Miss Lewis, you testified that you discovered these violations. But isn't it true you were specifically looking for problems? I was hired to consult on accessibility. I found safety violations in the process. But you have a history of litigation against construction firms, don't you? My mother sued a company that injured her. I testified in support. That's not a history of litigation. And yet here you are again, testifying against another company. One would almost think you target construction firms deliberately. One would be wrong. I report what I find. If companies built safely, there'd be nothing to report. How convenient for you that there's always something to report. The prosecutor objects. The judge sustains it. But the seed is planted. Amara can see it in some jurors' faces. Doubt, suspicion. The questioning continues for 6 hours. Every defense team gets their turn, each trying a different angle. By the end, Amara is exhausted, voice hoarse, leg aching. But she doesn't waver. Xianwu testifies the next day. His testimony is even more damaging. Insider knowledge, board meeting minutes, financial records he signed. He admits his own failures without hesitation. I should have investigated. I should have fired Choi years ago. I should have done a lot of things. My negligence enabled this system. I can't undo that. I can only try to ensure it doesn't happen again. The defense teams attack his credibility differently. They suggest he's lying to protect his reputation, that he's throwing colleagues under the bus to save himself. Mr. King, isn't it true you're only testifying because your wife, a foreign national, pressured you? No. I'm testifying because 12 people died across various projects, and I was too cowardly to face that reality until someone forced me to. Someone being Miss Lewis? Someone being my conscience, which Miss Lewis helped me rediscover. How romantic. And how convenient that this moral awakening coincides with a chance to eliminate your rivals and consolidate your company's market position. Xianwu's jaw tightens. I dissolved half my company. I committed hundreds of millions to victim compensation. If this is consolidating market position, I'm doing it very poorly. Or you're playing a long game. Positioning yourself as the ethical choice to win future contracts. Believe what you want. The evidence speaks for itself. The trial stretches for 4 weeks. More witnesses testify. Engineers who were pressured, inspectors who were bribed, victims' families who were silenced. The portrait that emerges is damning. A decades-long conspiracy prioritizing profit over every other consideration. One particularly powerful moment comes when Dr. Park testifies about her sister. Mi Young was 3 months pregnant when she died at Gangnam Tower. She'd documented violations in her personal notes because she was afraid official channels would be suppressed. She was right. Those notes sat in my drawer for 6 years because I was too afraid to use them. But Miss Lewis showed me that silence protects the guilty, not the innocent. So here I am. She reads from her sister's notebook. Detailed descriptions of cheap concrete, missing safety equipment, pressure from management to approve work that didn't meet standards. My sister tried to save lives. Instead, the system killed her and buried her warnings. That ends today. When Dr. Park steps down, several jurors are crying. The closing arguments are theatrical. The prosecution paints a picture of systemic rot, corporate greed enabled by government corruption, with ordinary people paying the ultimate price. This isn't about one company or one bad actor. It's about a culture that treats human life as acceptable collateral damage. The defendants before you represent that culture. Finding them guilty is the first step toward changing it. The defense teams counter with complexity and nuance, arguing that construction is inherently risky, that regulations were unclear, that their clients acted in good faith within industry norms. You cannot hold individuals responsible for system-wide failures. My client followed the practices that everyone used. He's being scapegoated because the public demands blood. That's not justice. That's mob rule. The jury deliberates for 5 days. When they return, the verdict is mixed. Guilty on most counts for the primary defendants, Choi, and 3 other executives. Millions in fines, years in prison. Reduced charges or acquittals for several lower-level participants, deemed to have acted under duress. And split decisions on the government officials, with the court ordering further investigations. It's not a complete victory, but it's something. Outside the courthouse, Amara faces the cameras one last time. Justice isn't perfect. Today wasn't perfect, but it's progress. Powerful people were held accountable. Victims were heard. Systems are changing. That's what we fought for. And we'll keep fighting until construction in Korea, and everywhere, values human life above everything else. A reporter shouts, "What's next for you and Mr. Kang?" Seon-woo steps forward, his wheelchair aligned with hers. We build. That's what we've always done. But now we build the right way. The media storm continues for weeks, but gradually, the intensity fades. Kang Lewis Design weathers the scrutiny. Some clients leave, uncomfortable with the association, but others arrive, drawn specifically because of their proven commitment to ethics. The Seoul subway project moves forward. Then a university campus. Then a housing development for elderly residents. Each project is documented, audited, made public. Transparent from blueprint to final inspection. It's slow. It's expensive. But it works. 6 months after the trial, they hire their 10th employee, a young architect who uses a wheelchair, graduated top of her class, couldn't get hired anywhere else, because firms claimed their offices weren't equipped for disabled workers. "Welcome to Kang Lewis," Amara says during her orientation. "We don't just design accessible spaces, we are an accessible space. If something doesn't work for you, tell us. We'll fix it." The young woman, Kim Soo-jin, looks around the office with something like wonder. "I thought places like this didn't exist." "They didn't," Seon-woo says. "So we built one." That evening, Amara and Seon-woo take a rare break. They return to the rooftop garden, the first one, the hospitals, where so much began. It's become a tradition, visiting every few months to remember. "Do you ever think about that day?" Amara asks. "The beam falling." "Every day," Seon-woo admits. "But differently now. It used to haunt me. Another person destroyed because of my failures. Now it feels like the beginning. Not of something good exactly, but of something necessary. You know what's strange? I don't regret it. The injury, the pain, any of it, because it led here. To this work, to you, to a life I couldn't have imagined before. Your leg still hurts. Sometimes. But pain and regret aren't the same thing." He takes her hand. "I love you. I don't say it enough in the chaos, but I need you to know. You're the reason I'm still fighting, the reason I believe change is possible. We're the reason," she corrects. "Neither of us could have done this alone. True partnership. Always." They sit as the sun sets, painting Seoul in shades of gold and amber, the city they're slowly helping to reshape, one building at a time. A year passes. Kang Lewis Design expands to 25 employees. They open a second office in Busan. International projects start coming in. A cultural center in Singapore, a hospital in Toronto, a transit hub in Berlin. But the work in Korea remains their focus. The government, under pressure from the trials and public outcry, passes sweeping construction reform legislation. Mandatory third-party inspections, whistleblower protections, severe penalties for material substitution, anonymous reporting systems. It's not perfect. Enforcement is inconsistent. Some regions resist, but it's progress. One morning, Amara receives an unexpected call. "Miss Lewis, this is Prosecutor Yoon. I wanted to inform you personally. We've completed the final investigation stemming from the original case. 23 additional convictions, $40 million recovered in fines and restitution. The Victims' Compensation Fund you helped establish has distributed payments to over 300 families." Amara's throat tightens. That's incredible. It wouldn't have happened without you, without both of you. The system fought back hard, but you fought harder. After she hangs up, she finds Seon-woo in his office, reviewing blueprints for a new accessible playground. "The prosecutions are done," she tells him. 23 more convictions. He looks up, processing. It's really over. That part is, but the work continues. Always. He sets down his pen. "There's something I've been meaning to ask you. Something I've been too afraid to bring up." That sounds ominous. Not ominous, just big. He wheels around the desk to face her. "What would you think about starting a foundation? Not just for construction safety, for accessibility advocacy broadly, education, policy reform, supporting disabled professionals, using everything we've learned to create systemic change beyond just our projects." Amara stares at him. "That's ambitious. Too ambitious." "No. Perfect. Absolutely perfect." Her mind is already racing with possibilities. "We'd need funding, staff, partnerships with existing advocacy groups. I've been talking to my grandmother. She wants to contribute, significantly, as her way of making amends." "How much is significantly?" "Enough to run a full operation for 5 years while we build sustainable funding." Amara laughs, overwhelmed. "We're really doing this, building something that outlasts us. Legacy," Seon-woo says quietly. "But the right kind. Not monuments to ego, just systems that help people." "When do we start?" "I was thinking next month, after the wedding celebration." The wedding. They'd almost forgotten, too consumed by work. But Diana has been planning relentlessly. "Your mother sent me the guest list," Seon-woo says. "It's up to 80 people. She promised small. Apparently her definition of small differs from ours." Amara groans. "We're going to have to make speeches, aren't we?" "Probably. I hate speeches. You've testified in front of millions. You can handle 80 wedding guests. That was different. I was angry then. Now I have to be sentimental. You're adorable when you're uncomfortable. I'm going to remember you said that." The wedding celebration happens on a perfect June afternoon. The rooftop garden, the one they designed together, has been transformed. White flowers, soft lighting, strings of lanterns that will glow when evening comes. 80 guests is actually intimate by Korean wedding standards. Family, friends, colleagues, a few victims' families they've grown close to over the months. Amara wears a custom gown, elegant, with modifications for her wheelchair. Ivory silk, delicate beading, a design that celebrates rather than hides her mobility aid. Seon-woo wears a traditional hanbok, black and silver, dignified. They've already married legally, so this is pure celebration. No official ceremony, just words they want to share. Diana walks Amara down the makeshift aisle, both of them crying before they even reach the front. Seon-woo's grandmother sits in the front row, regal and emotional. Dr. Park stands as their officiant. She got ordained online specifically for this occasion. "We're gathered," she begins, "to celebrate 2 people who met in the worst circumstances and chose to create something beautiful from the wreckage." Amara and Seon-woo have already made their legal vows. Today, they want to speak from the heart. Amara goes first, notes clutched in shaking hands. "Seon-woo, when I pushed your wheelchair out of the way of that falling beam, I thought I was saving a stranger. I didn't know I was saving my future. You've taught me that strength isn't about never breaking. It's about what you build after you've been shattered. You've shown me partnership, real partnership, where neither person is diminished. And you've given me a purpose bigger than anger, bigger than survival. You've given me hope. I love you. I choose you. Every day, in every way, I choose you. She's crying by the end. So is half the audience. Sian-woo takes a steadying breath. Amara, you appeared in my life like a force of nature. Loud, stubborn, impossible to ignore. You saved my life, yes. But more than that, you saved me from the person I'd become. Someone hiding behind control, terrified of vulnerability, accepting moral compromise as the price of power. You showed me there's another way. A harder way, but an honest one. You've been my partner, my conscience, my greatest teacher. I don't know what I did to deserve you, but I'm grateful every single day that you chose to stay. I love you. And I promise to spend the rest of my life proving I was worth that choice. Not a dry eye in the garden. Dr. Park smiles. By the power vested in me by an online ministry and the love of everyone gathered here, I declare these two married. Again. Officially this time in front of witnesses who can testify to how disgustingly in love they are. You may kiss. They do, to applause and cheers. The reception is joyful. Korean and American food side by side. Toasts in multiple languages. Stories shared about the journey that brought them here. Secretary Han gives a speech that's mostly professional decorum until the end, when he admits, I've worked for Mr. Kang for 8 years. I've never seen him laugh until Miss Lewis arrived. For that alone, I'm grateful to her. But for changing an entire industry? For that, we're all grateful. Diana's speech is shorter. My daughter has always fought for people who couldn't fight for themselves. I'm just glad she found someone who fights alongside her instead of holding her back. Welcome to the family, Sian-woo. You're stuck with us now. Sun-hee speaks last, voice carrying authority even in celebration. I've made many mistakes in my life. Terrible mistakes that cost lives. I can't undo those. But I can celebrate the people who refuse to let those mistakes continue. Amara, you gave my grandson back his purpose. Sian-woo, you found the courage to become the man your grandfather hoped you'd be. Together, you're building the legacy I should have demanded decades ago. I'm proud of you both. As the sun sets and lanterns glow, Amara and Sian-woo slip away to the garden's edge. We did it, she says. Made it through everything, the trials, the threats, the chaos. Think it gets easier from here? Absolutely not, but we'll handle it. Together. Always together. Music drifts from the reception. Someone has convinced Diana to dance. Han is teaching Dr. Park how to properly pour soju. Soo-jin, their newest hire, is deep in animated conversation with an architect from Berlin about universal design principles. This is what we fought for, Sian-woo says quietly. Not the headlines or the convictions. This. People connecting, ideas spreading, the world becoming a little more inclusive. One garden at a time. One building at a time. They return to the celebration, hand in hand, ready for whatever comes next. 3 years later, the Kang Lewis Accessibility Foundation officially opens its headquarters in Central Seoul. The building itself is a statement. 5 stories, completely accessible, with design features that accommodate every disability imaginable. Wheelchair users, people with visual or hearing impairments, those with cognitive differences. Every detail considered, tested by people who will actually use the space. This is what the future looks like, Amara tells the crowd gathered for the ribbon cutting. Not as a charity for disabled people, but as design that includes everyone from the beginning. Because accessibility isn't special accommodation, it's basic human dignity. The Foundation's mission is threefold: advocate for policy reform, fund accessible construction projects, and train the next generation of inclusive designers. They've hired 30 staff members. Half of them are disabled, a deliberate choice to ensure lived experience informs every decision. One of their first initiatives, a scholarship program for disabled students pursuing architecture and engineering. 10 full scholarships annually, with mentorship from industry professionals. Sujin now runs the program. She stands beside Amara during the announcement, confident and articulate. I almost gave up on architecture, she tells the audience, because every professor, every firm, every interview told me there was no place for someone like me. The Kang Lewis Foundation exists to make sure no one else hears that lie. We don't just belong in this industry. We're essential to it. Because how can you design for people whose experiences you refuse to acknowledge? Thunderous applause. After the ceremony, Amara finds a quiet moment with Dr. Park. Your sister would be proud, Amara says. Dr. Park's eyes glisten. I think so. I hope so. She pauses. I'm putting her notebooks in the Foundation's archive, so students can read them. See what speaking up looks like, even when it's dangerous. That's perfect. Thank you. They stand together, watching young architecture students tour the building, asking questions, taking notes. The next generation, learning to build differently. That evening, Amara and Seon-woo return home to the house they bought a year ago. It's in a quiet neighborhood, with a garden where they've planted vegetables and flowers. Their rescue dog, a massive, scruffy mutt named Thunder, greets them with enthusiastic chaos. Diana lives in the guest house out back. She's become a fixture in the Korean accessibility community, leading workshops for family members of disabled individuals. How was the opening? She calls as they enter. Perfect, Amara says. Overwhelming but perfect. Good. Dinner's ready. I made bulgogi. And before you panic, I followed the recipe exactly this time. They eat together, the three of them plus Thunder begging shamelessly under the table. I have news, Diana announces. I'm dating someone. Amara nearly chokes. What? Who? His name is Park Jin-ho. He's a retired architect, widowed, volunteers at the Accessibility Center. We've been seeing each other for 3 months. 3 months, and you didn't tell me? I'm telling you now, Diana laughs. I wanted to be sure before involving you. But yes, it's serious. You'll meet him next week. Seon-woo catches Amara's eye, amused. Your mother is braver than both of us. Apparently. After Diana retreats to the guest house, Amara and Seon-woo settle in their living room. It's become a nightly ritual. Tea, quiet conversation, processing the day. There's something I've been thinking about, Amara says carefully. That sounds ominous. Not ominous, just big. She takes a breath. What would you think about fostering or adopting? There are so many kids in the system, especially disabled kids who get overlooked. We have resources, stability, experience navigating accessibility. We could make a real difference. Seon-woo is quiet for a long moment. I've thought about it too. Was afraid to bring it up. Why? Because I'm in a wheelchair. Because I didn't want to assume you'd want children at all. Because I'm terrified I'd be a terrible father. You'd be an incredible father. You're patient, thoughtful. You understand what it's like to navigate a world that wasn't built for you. She takes his hand. And yes, I want this. Not because I need children to be fulfilled, but because we have so much to give, and there are kids who need exactly what we can offer. Then let's do it. Let's start the process. They sit together, imagining a future with children's laughter filling the house. Thunder as a patient companion, bedtime stories and homework help, and teaching someone else how to demand better from the world. We're building a family, Amara says softly. We've been building it all along. Now we're just expanding. 18 months later, the foster placement comes through. 2 siblings, Ji-hoon, age 8, who uses a wheelchair after a car accident, and Minju, age 5, who is neurotypical but protective of her brother. The social worker brings them on a Tuesday afternoon. Ji-hoon is wary, having been through multiple foster homes that weren't equipped for his needs. Minju clings to him, suspicious of every adult. Amara and Seon-woo meet them in the living room, both at eye level in their chairs. Hi, Amara says gently. I'm Amara. This is Seon-woo. And that's Thunder. He's friendly, but loud. Ji-hoon stares at Seon-woo's wheelchair. You're like me. Yeah, I am. The other families said wheelchairs were too complicated, that they didn't have space. Xianwu's jaw tightens. Well, we have space, and wheelchairs aren't complicated. They're just how we move. Same as walking, just with wheels. Can you do tricks? Some. Can you? Jihoon's face lights up. I can spin really fast. Show me. And just like that, the ice breaks. Jihoon demonstrates his chair-spinning abilities. Thunder barks encouragement. Minju ventures closer to Amara, curious. Do you have toys? She asks. We have some, but we thought maybe you'd want to help pick out more. We can go shopping tomorrow. Really? Really? The social worker watches, tearful. This is exactly what they needed. The first weeks are an adjustment. Jihoon has nightmares about the accident. Minju has separation anxiety. Both test boundaries constantly, waiting for the adults to give up on them. Amara and Xianwu don't give up. They establish routines. Morning breakfast together. Homework help in the afternoon. Evening walks. Jihoon racing ahead with Xianwu. Minju riding on Amara's lap, Thunder trotting alongside. Diana becomes Grandma Diana, telling elaborate stories and sneaking extra cookies. Dr. Park helps with Jihoon's physical therapy, patient and encouraging. Slowly, the children begin to trust. One night, 3 months in, Jihoon appears at Amara and Xianwu's bedroom door. I had a bad dream, he whispers. Come here, Amara says immediately. He wheels over. Xianwu lifts him onto the bed. They have a low platform bed specifically for this reason. Want to talk about it? Xianwu asks. The accident. I keep seeing it. The other car hitting us. Waking up and not being able to move my legs. His voice cracks. And everyone looking at me different after. Like I was broken. You're not broken, Amara says firmly. You're just you, and you is perfect. But I can't walk. Neither can I, Xianwu says. Neither can Amara, at least not well. Does that make us broken? Jihoon thinks about this. No, you're the smartest people I know. Exactly. Your body doesn't define your worth. What defines you is how you treat people, how you face challenges, who you choose to be. And Jihoon, you're one of the bravest people I've met. You protect your sister. You work hard in therapy even when it hurts. You try new things even when you're scared. That's not broken. That's heroic. Jihoon burrows between them. Can I sleep here tonight? Of course. Minju appears minutes later, having woken and found her brother gone. She climbs onto the bed too. So the four of them sleep together. Tangled and imperfect, and exactly right. 6 months into the placement, the social worker visits for a review. How are things going? Wonderfully, Amara says. They're thriving. Jihoon's grades have improved. Minju is more confident. They both laugh constantly. I can see that. The social worker smiles. Which brings me to the real reason for this visit. The children's biological parents have permanently surrendered their rights. Which means Jihoon and Minju are eligible for adoption. If you're interested. Amara looks at Xianwu. He nods. We're very interested, she says. I thought so. I'll start the paperwork. That evening, they sit Jihoon and Minju down. We have something important to ask you, Xianwu says. You know you've been living with us as foster children. But there's another option. If you want, we can make it permanent. You can officially become part of our family. We'd adopt you. Jihoon's eyes widen. Forever? Forever. You wouldn't send us back? Never. We love you both. We want you here. As long as you want to be here. Minju looks between them. Would we call you Mom and Dad? If you want to, Amara says gently. Or Amara and Xianwu. Or some other names you prefer. Whatever feels right for you. The children look at each other, having one of those silent sibling conversations. Then Jihoon turns back. We want to be adopted. We want to stay forever. Then it's settled. Xianwu pulls them both into a hug. Welcome to the family, officially. Minju starts crying happy tears. Jihoon tries to be tough but fails. Thunder senses the emotion and piles on, making everyone laugh through the tears. The adoption is finalized on a sunny April morning. Jihoon is now 11, confident and outspoken. Minju is 8, artistic and thoughtful. Both call Amara and Seonwoo mom and dad without hesitation. The judge signs the papers, makes it official, and the family celebrates with ice cream. "Can we go to the park?" Minju asks. "The one you designed?" "Which one, sweetie? We've designed lots of parks." "The first one. The one with the plaque." They drive to the rooftop garden, the place where Seonwoo proposed, where so much of their story crystallized. The children run ahead, Jihoon's chair modified for speed, Minju keeping pace on foot. Thunder bounds after them. Amara and Seonwoo follow more slowly, hand in hand. "Do you remember the first time we came here?" Amara asks. "I proposed to you. Kind of hard to forget. Before that, when we were just starting out, barely holding it together. Everything felt impossible. And now we have a family, a foundation, projects across 3 continents. We changed laws. We helped put criminals in prison. We built something that will outlast us." She squeezes his hand. Impossible happened. They reach the plaque. Minju is tracing the letters with her finger, sounding out the words. "This garden is dedicated to all who were harmed by negligence." Negligence, Jihoon corrects. "It means when people don't pay attention and others get hurt." "Right. And to those who fight for a world where no one is invisible." Minju looks up. "That's you guys, right? You fought?" "We did," Seonwoo says. "We still do." "Why?" "Because everyone deserves to be seen, to be included, to move through the world without barriers." He ruffles her hair. "And because your mom is the most stubborn person alive and refuses to accept injustice." "I learned it from you," Amara counters. "You taught me everything that matters." Jihoon wheels closer to the plaque. "When I grow up, I want to do what you do. Design buildings that work for everyone." "You can do anything you want," Amara says. "Architect, engineer, teacher, artist, whatever calls to you. But I want to help people, like you helped me." Seonwoo crouches to be at eye level. "Then you will. But Jihoon, remember, you already help people just by being yourself. By showing the world that wheelchair users are strong and smart and capable. You don't have to earn your worth by saving others. You're worthy exactly as you are." Jihoon thinks about this. "But I still want to design buildings. Then we'll support you every step of the way." They spend the afternoon in the garden. The children play. Thunder supervises. Amara and Seonwoo sit on a bench, watching their family, their creation, their impossible victory over everything that tried to break them. "We did good," Amara says softly. "We did. Think we're done? Finished fighting?" Seonwoo laughs. "Not even close. There's still so much work to do." "Good. I'd be bored otherwise." "Me too." As the sun sets, they gather the children for the walk home. Jihoon races ahead with Minju. Thunder barks. The city sprawls below them, imperfect but changing. "Seonwoo," Amara says. "Yeah?" "Thank you for letting me save your life." He pulls her close. "Thank you for saving mine right back." Around 10 years after the beam fell, Kang Lewis Accessibility Foundation has expanded to 12 countries. The Seoul headquarters trains over 500 architects annually. The scholarship program has sent 200 disabled students through university. Amara and Seonwoo step back from daily operations, transitioning to advisory roles. Soo-jin becomes executive director, the youngest person ever to lead a major accessibility organization. Jihoon is 17, applying to architecture programs. His portfolio includes a revolutionary design for adaptive sports facilities. Minju is 14, an accomplished painter whose work explores themes of inclusion and belonging. Diana, now in her 70s, still volunteers weekly. She married Jinho 5 years ago in a small ceremony that made everyone cry. Dr. Park retired from clinical practice but lectures at universities about medical ethics and speaking truth to power. Secretary Han runs his own consulting firm, specializing in corporate transparency. He credits Amara and Sion Woo with teaching him that integrity is profitable. Chairwoman Sun Hee passed away peacefully 2 years ago. Her will left her entire fortune to victim compensation and accessibility initiatives. At her funeral, dozens of people testified about how her late-life transformation gave them hope for their own redemption. Vice President Choi is still in prison. He sends no letters, makes no statements. Some people can't be saved from themselves. And the Hanam Cultural Center, the site where everything began, has been rebuilt. A memorial stands where the beam fell, bearing the names of everyone injured or killed by Kang Infrastructure's negligence. But more importantly, the new building is a model of accessible design. Every entrance welcomes. Every floor accommodates. Every detail considers the full spectrum of human mobility. It's what the first version should have been. On a quiet Sunday morning, Amara and Sion Woo visit the Hanam Memorial. They come several times a year, a private ritual to remember what was lost and what was learned. Amara traces her name on the injured list. Hard to believe it's been 10 years. Sometimes it feels like yesterday. Sometimes it feels like a different lifetime. Both, maybe. They stand in silence, honoring the past. Then Ji-hoon and Minju arrive, having promised to meet them. "We brought flowers," Minju says, placing a bouquet at the memorial base. "That's beautiful," Amara says. "Thank you." Ji-hoon studies the building, professional eye already cataloging details. "You know what's amazing? This place isn't just accessible, it's beautiful. It proves you don't have to sacrifice aesthetics for inclusion." "That's exactly what we set out to prove," Sion Woo says. "Took a while, but we got there." "You're still getting there," Ji-hoon corrects. "There's always more work." Spoken like a true architect. As they walk back to the car, Minju asks, "Dad, do you still have nightmares about the accident?" Sion Woo considers the question. "Sometimes. But they're different now. Not nightmares about what happened, but dreams about what could have been prevented. And when I wake up, I remember that I'm doing the work to prevent it. That helps." "Mom, do you regret getting hurt?" Amara pauses. "No. I regret that anyone was ever hurt. But my injury led me to all of you. To this work, to a life I never imagined. I wouldn't trade that for anything. Not even fully functional legs." "That's weird," Minju says thoughtfully, "but also kind of beautiful. Most beautiful things are a little weird." They drive home, Thunder's head hanging out the window, the afternoon sun warm and golden. That evening, as Amara and Sion Woo prepare dinner, their children doing homework at the kitchen table, a comfortable chaos fills the house. This is what they built. Not just buildings or foundations or legal reforms, but a family, a life, a future where the broken pieces became the foundation for something stronger. "Hey," Sion Woo says, pulling Amara aside. "I love you. Just in case I forgot to mention it today. You mentioned it twice, but I don't mind hearing it again. I love you. Our life. All of this." He gestures to the kitchen chaos, the children bickering over math problems, Thunder stealing socks from the laundry basket. "It's nothing like I imagined. It's better. Much better," Amara agrees. They kiss, casual and comfortable. A kiss between partners who've weathered everything and chosen each other anyway. "Mom! Dad!" Minju won't stop singing, Ji-hoon yells. "She's studying," Minju protests. "Music helps me think. It's driving me crazy." "Then wear headphones." Amara and Sion Woo exchange a look. Then, together, "Separate rooms for homework if you can't cooperate." Groaning but compliant, the children gather their materials. "We're terrible parents," Sion Woo mutters. "The worst," Amara agrees cheerfully. But they're smiling. Because this, the ordinary chaos of family life, is what they fought for. The chance for disabled people to be parents, partners, professionals. Not despite their bodies, but as their complete selves. The chance for children in the foster system to find homes that don't see them as burdens. The chance for buildings to welcome instead of exclude. The chance for truth to matter more than profit. They didn't fix everything. The world is still broken in 1,000 ways. But they fixed their corner of it, and they taught their children to do the same. That night, after the children are asleep, Amara wheels onto their back porch. Xian Wu joins her, 2 cups of tea in hand. "Remember when we met?" she asks. "How impossible everything seemed. And now? Still impossible. We're just too stubborn to accept that." He laughs. Accurate. They sit under the stars, hands intertwined, the garden they planted together thriving around them. "If you could go back," Xian Wu says, "to that day on the construction site, knowing everything that would happen, all the pain and danger and chaos, would you still push my wheelchair?" Amara doesn't hesitate. Every single time. Even if it meant getting hurt. Especially then. Because that hurt led to healing. For both of us. For hundreds of people. For an entire industry. She squeezes his hand. "Some prices are worth paying. I'm glad you think so. Because I plan on spending the rest of my life making sure you never regret it." Deal. They stay there until the tea grows cold and the stars wheel overhead. 2 people who found each other in disaster and built something extraordinary from the ruins. A love story, yes. But more than that. A story about choosing to see people the world overlooks. About refusing to accept that anyone is disposable. About building foundations strong enough to hold everyone without exception. And in the morning, when they wake to children's laughter and a dog's enthusiastic greeting and another day of building a better world, they'll face it the way they face everything. Together. Equal partners. Always.